we go.
Just making sure all the scenes are set up, which is good. All right.
So,
we don't just wait till we get into the game. No one can see this screen, so we can talk about commanders and things when we get in.
yep. All right.
But expectations on this. Who would you put your money on, honestly, right now to win this series, just based on what you know of these players?
My boy Talisman.
My boy Talisman. That's caster bias, Hans.
I
just tricked you up.
Genuinely, I really think Talisman's going to win this because he's a tournament player. Fredbrik, I haven't really seen him compete in many tournaments at all, and he hasn't really ever done. We haven't really seen him, to be honest, in any tournament. So my money's on Talisman, and I think he's going to take the series 3-0. I'm going to go with it, 3-0. I think.
So Hans says 3-0. All I've got stuck in my head is Talisman's KD last night when we were playing that 4v4. It was like 40 kills for 140 losses.
I know it was pretty bad, and
I was pinging him when to retreat things. Like that just doesn't happen. Hopefully he's in a better way today. He's playing Soviets again.
He did say he had like 10 beers last night, so he was pretty drunk, as were we. So we'll see. Let's see if he's refreshed and ready. I was a bit surprised that he was joining us last night, considering that he had a tournament the next day. He must feel that confident that he'll be able to beat Fredbrik, though. So
I
definitely wouldn't be doing this against other people.
No, I think we should definitely reference to everybody. The same way we do with Aimstrong, the same way we do with DevM, whatever. Talisman has been very cocky today. He has said 3-0 in this series, guaranteed. No doubt about it. Fredbrik going down. So he deserves to be criticized if he does not live up to that. He's been overly boisterous about it. So we'll be watching him. We'll be critically minded of him today. So yeah, it's going to be good. Got just 1 minute before the match begins. Of course, we do have a 2 minutes on observer delay just to make sure there are no pesky cheaters. That's something you have to do when Barton's ever in any tournament. And, that's not true.
Yeah.
That's unfair to Barton. He's not a cheater.
Poor Barton.
So poor Barton. I should unban him from this channel. Let's unban him. I think he asked me about that earlier. Barton, if you're here, you're not banned anymore. Have fun. Yeah. There we go. I think we're all set up. 20 seconds.
20 seconds to go.
I'm excited. I'm restless. I want to get in and cast. I want to see how this is going to go.
I want to see how Taz. I want to see if he's going to prove us right or eat his words. That's what we're going to see.
I like when you click on the Stern Pioneers just before you cast and they go, "This is it." You're like, yes, get fired up because it's about to happen. And wait for it.
All right, here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Danes and Danelings, welcome to Series 2 of today. We have on the south side of Crossroads, yet again Crossroads, as the Soviets, it's going to be Talisman, claiming he can 3-0 his opponent Fredbrik in this today's series.
And in the north, we have the OKW opponent of Talisman, and that is Fredbrik, opening up with Volkson into a Kubel.
What do you reckon to this? I mean, you actually referenced earlier, Hans. You think the Kubel is very, very beneficial on this map?
It is. The map is so... There's so many points on this map, and the Kubel can easily transfer from one side of the map to the other. But we did see DevM do very well with an early 4-Volk build instead. I mean, the Kubel wagon always ends up getting killed off in the late stages of the game, whatever happens. Whereas, if you go for a Volk, it's more likely to live. So it's like how much early investment do you get out of that Kubel? How much early capping power? You can use the Kubel to push around enemy units as well out of cover as well, which not many people actually do that. But we might be surprised. We might see Fredbrik utilize this Kubel quite well.
Well, I certainly hope so. I think actually against conscripts, though, do you really think we're going to see him be doing that? Because, one, it's great to see conscripts on the field. I mean, we normally either see, we normally nearly always see penals at the moment, or the double to triple engineer start. So lovely to see some conscripts by Talisman, but this is very Talisman-esque. I mean, he's always got conscripts. I'd be surprised if there isn't something with rapid conscription in his loadout right now. Because he's actually very, very ruthless with these units and plays them very, very well. I'm loving this little bit of tension here. Can you see by the planks of, sorry, the logs? And they're both just like not knowing the other one's on the other side.
Good move by Talisman to push around the left side, grab back a bit of cover and find those stones. He knew they were waiting there. You don't want to get caught up by those stones at close range. Got to be careful though, these Volks are pushing in as well.
I quite like this. I think now he's got the distance on the Stern Pioneers. He might do well against them. He's going to close in with the conscripts to get that close range DPS damage. But Fredbrik straight away with the Stern Pioneers coming in to close that immediately. And I can't see Talisman staying in this engagement for very long. Look at the map tear at the moment, Hans. Look at this. We're going to see like fuel capped for the left. VP all the way on the other side of the map. It's such an easy cutoff for the Kubel. I'm wondering if Talisman's made a wise decision here.
This is the risk when you split half your army going north and half your army going right. Sacrifice a side for sure if your opponent commits fully to one side, and that's what's happened. So Fredbrik has fully committed to the south side and abandoned the north. But Talisman is capping up, so it's not too bad for him right now, even though he's lost the initial engagements.
I mean, instantly, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. We're going to see the decap here. Talisman, I think, picked up on that even before it happened. Brings the conscripts back in. Should get in the circle just in time to stop the decap so he doesn't have any kind of fuel loss. Now the Kubel's in a little bit of trouble. Sorry, say that again.
Sorry, I was going to just say 80 grenades have not been teched yet by Talisman, so he hasn't got to worry about losing his Kubel just yet.
I think he'll get it to like light arms fire though. I mean, it's not like it looks like it's probably going to go down here if he maybe stands still, gets those shots off. It's very lucky if it gets out of there alive. Wow. Indeed, that could have all, if they all penetrated, then that would have been a dead Kubel. But that Kubel managed to get out of there. Somehow, well, 4 cons build at the moment, and kind of wondering because we just don't see this that often anymore. Like, what is this indicative of commander-wise now?
I still think he probably could go with Dishkas with this strategy. I mean, with the conscripts, people don't forget that the Lend-Lease tactic lends itself very well to actually conscript spam rather than penal spam because you have the conscript repair kit. And so therefore, in the late stages of the game, when you have the M4C Shermans out and you've got conscripts nearby, you can quickly repair your M4C Shermans. So I think he's still going to go for Lend-Lease.
I mean, there's always that potential with 4 cons. We might get to see for Mother Russia. That would be very nice if we could see counterattack in a 1v1. I think he'd definitely be putting himself down for the non-meta commander play award there. That would actually be one, I think, that would rival GB Hooligans playing of the Fortifications Doctrine versus Aimstrong. I would love to see that doctrine used correctly.
It's a shame that the counterattack tactics, the B4 is not once its former self. It is a terrible unit now. I mean, it's in a weird spot.
It's not Hans.
It's in a weird spot. I mean, it kind of got nerfed too much at the moment, and it's highly inaccurate. The KV-1s aren't too bad. They cost, I think, they cost more than the M4C Shermans. I mean, I personally would probably prefer. Sorry, no, the KV-1s. The KV-1s cost more than M4C Shermans, and I would prefer the Shermans over the KV-1 for the fact that they, I bet 3, they fire so rapidly. And I think the Shermans can also cap territory, whereas the KV-1s cannot. Also, KV-1s are slow.
Yeah, you're right. The M4C Shermans can use the capping ability there. But yeah, it's a commander that I would love to see used in a 1v1. I think if you can get the B4, I mean, I don't think you can base fire anymore, which is can you fire into the opponent's base? Actually, that hasn't changed. It's off map that's changed. So you can still you can still get devastation with it. You can still get those shots. And I think as well, I don't know if you remember the ability that fires back at tanks. That's still absolutely lethal. If you can actually ever get good. Yeah, if you can get the arc right. But it's a huge thing to use, and Talisman, I think he has to just test out his opponent here. It's game 1, so he can do whatever he wants right now, do you know what I mean? But he has made that commitment, hasn't he? He has made that 3-0 commitment, so if he does that, it's going to be a bit of a gamble.
So Stern Pioneers get pushed off on the right-hand side. Talisman's trying to fight for his cut-off back. He will be able to get this now with his flamethrowers pushing in as well. So those Volks are... good play by Fredbrik to back away there, out of green cover to avoid the crit from the flamethrower. So yeah, it looks like Talisman is definitely having a very successful counter-attack here. but still, he's not got his munitions connected, and his territory's just about to get recapped now. Oh, here's a Panzer II already out on the field. Damn.
That's quite fast, actually. And do we have the 18-aids teched up yet? No, it doesn't look like they are.
Right now. I think he was about to build a... he was deciding to build a Maxim, and then as soon as he saw the Panzer II, he cancelled the Maxim and then decided for the AT grenades, which was the right choice then. But I'm surprised we've not seen any mines now from Talisman, because this Panzer II could potentially just chase the units back to the base and kill them off.
I think he made a nice psychological play though, because he didn't back off from the Panzer II. Like, you know, he made a movement to go towards it, and I think it's kind of like the fake impression that the 18-aids have been teched. So he'll be able to give himself like a good amount of time whilst Fredbrik is really trying to figure out if those 18-aids do actually exist or not, and then he's going to have them up. In fact, they are actually available now. So you know, it's. He played that well, I think, to be honest, given that most players may have just hit the retreat button when he did that, but he's done the right thing.
Yeah, playing around this wall here is good. He's trying to stall out this Panzer II, make it like be as least effective as possible before trying to buy time so his Zizgun can come out onto the field, which now is.
This gun going to make a world of difference. Fredbrik's doing very well here, capping the fuel on the right-hand side, contesting with the Kubel on the left, and even in green cover here, we're going to see the Panzer II come on to help and try and force this
to an AT grenade here. So didn't even need to do that. Fredbrik, the careless there, getting his Panzer II grenaded. Zizgun is far off, but the Zizgun might get flanked here by a Volk squad. There is nothing there to protect it, and Fredbrik isn't going to go for the chase. He's just going to go for the cap instead.
Talisman has actually instantly brought units down to actually help with us, so there's good good map awareness there from Talisman. Should win this engagement fairly comfortably. Manages to stop the decap as well, making sure that the Volkswagen... That was really nice, yeah, so just pure manpower wasted there for Fredbrik.
This Panzer II is, you know, its window of effectiveness is getting shorter and shorter.
I mean, I guess that's the thing, like, if he can spend a lot of time, you know, microing that, I think he'll still do well with it, because, you know, he can keep out of the way of the very slow AT gun, he can always keep max range against conscripts. You've only got to make one mistake. With 4 cons on the field, you know, assuming Talisman can stock up munitions, something which he hasn't had a very good job of doing, to be honest, so far this game. But if he can, like, you know, he should be able to deal with that. But a second Panzer II in the build hands, he's going to go double loops.
This is very bold, if anything. I don't think he spotted the. Oh, he has spotted the AT gun, and he's still gone for this second Panzer II. I think he must feel confident that he might be able to get a flank off and take it out.
I honestly think this could really work, because, I mean, without knowing, I'm assuming he's not going to be able to know the pure resources of his opponent, but Talisman does not have the munitions resource to continually take down 2 Panzer II Lukes. Like, if the AT gun isn't around in the right position, these Lukes could do some serious damage right now.
Yeah. Talisman has now been clued in that there is a second Panzer II out, so let's see if he's going to do anything to his build. Attack ground shots through the hedgerow there from that one. This gun does miss. An AT grenade does damage the engine of the first Panzer II. Okay, Talisman is going for tier 3 tech, so he feels confident that he'll be able to defend against this. But this gun is getting surrounded from all angles. Can't afford to lose this.
Oh, that's some really good play there by Fred, but look at the aggression here. Now the Panzer II coming in, trying to take some shots on the back of the AT gun. Stern Pioneers in green cover, Volksgrenadiers taking the long shots. He may even get the D-crew here, and he does. Which means, do the conscripts try and walk it back to the base? Now probably haven't got enough models to confidently make that decision. This is a really dangerous position now with 2 Panzer II Lukes on the field, one about to get repaired, and the AT gun is not in a good position whatsoever right now.
Nice incendiary nade there as well. Burning that crew off there. I don't know if you noticed there, but Talisman planted a flare behind that sandbag, killing one of the models of the Volksgrenadiers. I'll probably expect him to maybe spam a few of these down. We also see an SU-76 being built, which is probably the best choice for him to go for right now, instead of the T-70, because of the double Panzer II. He would have probably gone for a T-70 if he only saw one Panzer II, but he needs the ability now to be able to deal with both.
look at this. He's doing really well. Takes a shot, unfortunately, there from the AT gun. But I think the Panzer II trying to get in there maybe for a shot on. We have a second AT gun. Sorry, no, it wasn't a second AT gun. Did he just merge a squad? I think he just merged the squad there. Yeah, I think he just merged conscripts into the AT gun. I thought it was the second AT gun for a second, but it isn't. Here's the Su-76, so now we should have some kind of contest for the Lukes. There is a Raketen lying in waiting though, so it's not all clear sailing just yet. Plenty of mines have been planted. In your opinion, Hans, does the Raketen ever hit that first shot?
I don't think it's incredibly unlikely. You need to have the maybe less than a meter away from its target to nail its first shot.
I think we see a little bit of a mistake here by Fredbrik, Hans. He's trying to get the Su-76, decided to go around for the flank, but he's going to make a mistake. Fortunately, the Su-76 misses its first shot. AT can't turn around quick enough, and I don't think we have the munitions from Talisman for an AT nade. And now the AT gun's blocking the line of the Su-76, so somehow Fredbrik gets away. Huge mistake, but wow.
Incoming reinforcements of the Volksgrenadiers is going to push back. Oh my god, those Stern Pioneers just immediately got destroyed by the Su-76 barrage then. And that's, bearing in mind, that's RNG dependent. That shot could have gone anywhere, especially with, a Ziz shot barrage or an Su-76 barrage. That was quite lucky that Talisman managed to get that into the wipe. However, again, though, the Sterns were clumped up, so it might have been Fredbrik's fault for having them so close together.
Gosh, I'm really surprised. I'm totally surprised that Fredbrik managed to get away with that. I mean, and that would have been a tipping point as well. Losing one of the Lukes, having the Su-76 roaming the field with all of this. And he did get the wipe of the Stern Pioneers, but triple cap has been on now, at least for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Which means Talisman is already coming down to about 250 VPs, only 13 minutes into the game. And this is a lot for him to come back from. You don't want to be giving Axis high VPs in the early game because it's all the more time that they're going to be able to build up veterancy and stronger units. So he's already on the back foot here.
I like this MG positioning from Fredbrik. Nice up on the cutoff, denying him to be able to recap that. Panzer II, one shot away from death there. Gets away.
This is not looking a good position for him at all right now.
Grenade on the conscripts on the left-hand side of the map. One of the other Panzer IIs has now been repaired, back on the field. They'll probably push away those 2 conscripts. It's really not looking very good for Talisman. He hasn't lost anything yet, but he's, not had decent map control at all. He needs to find some way of breaking out of this.
And we have another tier structure coming in from Fredbrik. Looks like it's going to be going on to the left-hand side. Probably going to provide tier 4 cover for the VP on that side. And keep good aggression on this territory point here. Then there's really not much Talisman's going to be able to do on the right side for the moment. A really, really difficult situation when you are resource deprived. Trying to find a way to counter build is very, very difficult. And he's certainly coming up against that right now. Fredbrik has been laying mines everywhere, all over the map. So this is going to be a very difficult game for Talisman to come back for. It's not over yet by any stretch of the imagination, but 200 VPs have been dropped.
Just go out now from Talisman. That's going to help him with the infantry. Capping on the right as well. He needs to prioritize those VPs. He's got 2 engineers there. Double capping with both squads. That's not a good idea. He's now realised that, moving on with that flamethrower unit.
I mean, he's going to lose some of those though. I mean, there's mines going up towards the victory point actually from capping that strategic. So probably going to lose a couple of models there on the first. Fredbrik will know to go over there. He'll probably know what's over there as well. No minesweepers on those 2 of the flamers, so he doesn't have that flexibility at all to even pop minesweepers on a second squad and check for those mines. And I wonder if Fredbrik has actually clocked that, and that's maybe why he's confident to lay so many mines. It's just due to the fact, really, he's seen 2 flamer engineers.
Instead, 150 VPs for Talisman. That's not good at 60 minutes into the game. Triple cap is still in effect. Talisman has to make something happen now. is dropping fuel in his base. He's not far off getting himself an M40 Sherman. He's about half a CP as well. So that might be the unit to turn it around for him. Meanwhile, Sneaky Raketin is moving up on that SU-76.
God, he's going really close to it. Even just on the edge of getting detected by the Dushka there. There's the first shot. SU-76 going to go, but Raketin will get another shot off. Not enough to finish it, of course. There's the Incendiary on the Dushka. Going to force that away. So these Volksgrenadiers, with a little bit of help from the Panzer II Lux, will easily be able to contain and control the left-hand side of the map. Then we're also seeing Volksgrenadiers push the conscripts on the right VP as well. So Fredbrik is still very, very much in control of this game, not letting Talisman going over to the left-hand side distract him at all. He really is, you know, keeping good map control in spite of everything.
M40 Sherman is available to be called in. Talisman, he does do so. Here it comes onto the field. I wonder which way he's going to go with this, left or right. Probably going to want to go onto the right-hand side to make sure he can lock down this VP. As he knows, the Raketans are on the left-hand side. Probably would be the smart play. He's not got the fuel in his base for some reason. Just going to sit there for a little bit.
It's nice, actually. I mean, Talisman going over to the left-hand side. You see Fredbrik has done that. Not sure with the tier 4 position, by the way. I would have thought the tier 4 would have gone on the VP.
Defensive.
Yeah, I mean, it really, like, it could go between the VP and the strategic points. So it's
Yeah, I'm surprised as well as you that why he has put it so far back. It would have been a very good idea to place it near the left-hand side VP so he can lock that down and just cut off. So maybe he's trying to hide it away. Maybe he's trying to like pretend that he's not going for this kind of tech. That's why he's put it so far back. It's the only kind of reason I can think. More mines from Fredbrik on his right side there.
Funnily enough, with the M4C Sherman out, the army values for both teams have actually evened out. So unless, I mean, you know, the tier 4's out now, so Fredbrik can easily tip this. But for the moment, actually, the M4C Sherman stands to make a big difference on the field if Talisman can keep things rolling. Down to 80 VPs, and I mean, he's not left himself with much time, but it looks like he's actually growing and growing into a more stable position.
Ooh. Check the mid. Raketin's very close to that M4C Sherman. If they both creep up on it, it won't be very nice. Double focus on the right-hand side, going to push back those conscripts and probably put again on the triple cap. M4C Sherman's being very greedy. Raketin's in position just about.
I think there's a mine here, I'm not sure. Oh, the mine was already tripped earlier, so very, very fortunately, M4C Sherman's going to be able to get out of there, picking up a Lux on the way. Very important steal for him right there.
This gun is going to go down here. Talisman has forgot to pull that back once the M4C Sherman pushed in. That's not going to be good. Is he going to steal that or just salvage it? He's probably going to salvage it since he's got... No, he's going to steal it. Interesting. Okay.
That's a weird choice. Still don't have a doctrine pick yet from Fredbrik, so clearly doesn't feel like anything is going to be particularly of use to him right now. I'm surprised. I mean, I would have thought maybe he would have early picked Breakthrough, but depends. Like, I don't know which of these commanders is going to be appropriate to this situation. A lot of these kind of you can get benefits out of earlier on into the game. You know, either by going for the Panzer Fusiliers or the Jaeger Light Infantry.
I think he's comfortable enough that he's not felt like he needed to go for the Panzer Fuse. He's actually going for a Panther right now out of his Schwer Panzer headquarters.
Very, very nice flanks from Volksgrenadiers on the left side, Hans. It looks like he may be trying to go for the Faust in the Su-76. Hasn't got the Panther on the field yet, so nothing to finish up on. M4C Sherman's going to go in for the crush, dealing a lot of damage, crushing a couple of units, suppression from the Dushka coming in. And now he's going to go for a little bit of a chase as well. Does look like the squad's going to get away. Double Raketins lining up now with the AT gun, sorry, the Raketin AT gun.
That's not looking good. Again, the triple cap is in play. Talisman is dropping VP so quickly. He's got 30 seconds if this continues like this.
I mean, we're already potentially going to see the end of this 3-0 that Talisman absolutely promised we would be delivered. And, I mean, this is actually kind of what I was expecting. I know I said to you, you know, would you put your money on Hans or Talisman? Fredbrik is a very good player. Talisman has really, really sacrificed the early game here in a big way.
I don't think he can do anything now. 15 VPs left. He's managed to grab one, but he's not going to be able to hold that. With all that infantry coming in, incendiary grenade going now, which will push back those conscripts. 80 guns moving up to zone out the Soviet armor. Can't make any progress on this right-hand side VP. Finally, the Dishka suppressed that Volk squad on that right-hand side VP. Meanwhile, in the north, see, this is a mistake by Fredbrik. If he, like we said, if he had put the Schwer on that left-hand side, that VP on the left, the top left, would not have been capped.
Oh, what's this? Are we seeing a push here from the Shem? He's given it his time to maybe go for the Panther there. The decap is on right now. It looks like he can actually decap and potentially still stay in this. Fredbrik's going to get it for a second. I wonder if he can actually close 3 VPs in the time that it takes to decap the last quarter.
Get this mine here as well. Oh, just narrowly misses the mine, but that's it. I think that's all she wrote.
I'm not sure. I think he's actually got the decap off just in time. 1 VP remaining at the moment. He's holding on by the skin of his teeth, and another M4C Sherman hits the field. If he can pull this back in any way, he definitely deserves one of the awards. But there we go. Kubel down.
Damn. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but well played by Fredbrik. Very early aggression. And with the double Panzer IIs, he really made that work. Yeah,
I think that was a really good choice. I think, like, based on his decapping, like, he really, I think that was a really sensible decision. Because he had, like, you know, when you go conscripts, like, the conscripts require that close range. It's not like you've got either guards or AT gun, like the PTRS, you know what I mean? Like, the double Lukes. And it worked. Like, it worked really well in control. But, I mean, would you have done that, Hans, against conscripts?
Double Panzer II? Possibly. I might have gone for an Ostwind, a fast Ostwind. I think that might have been around the 8 CP mark. I'm not sure. But, yeah, the double Panzer II was nice. With the amount of aggression that he had and the map control, yes, I think the second Panzer II probably would have been, yeah, is a good call. As even if he lost a Panzer II, he could have called on a Puma if he desperately needed to, and he had like double Raketens anyway for that AT, so he didn't need to invest in a Puma per se, because he already has that AT capability. And all he has to worry about, he knows, is an SU-76 or a Ziz gun. And if he's got 2, he can easily flank in and find out where that Ziz gun is and poke at the weak point. Because that Ziz gun can only be at one place at any one time, and it's so slow to travel from one side of the map to the other. Yeah. So those Panzer IIs can definitely cause a lot of pain.
Just been asked a question, does Lend-Lease win any game in this tournament? I haven't seen any by that time. I think it has, actually. I think some of the early games in the rounds of 32, we did see Lend-Lease win. Like, I think Von used it. I think Von Ivan used it. Can't actually remember which one he used in his games. But, yeah, I mean, it's a very meta commander at the moment because it's very, very easy to use. Like, it is strong and you can play it well. I mean, that was unfortunate for Talisman, and he unfortunately didn't make the conscript build work. It's very kind of like characteristic of him. I wonder if Fredbrik had any like preconceptions of Talisman and his builds and things. Because to me, when I see Talisman, I'm like, I know what he's going to do. Do you know what I mean? You know his play style. But it's going to swap around now. We're going to see him play Axis. And Hans, what's his Axis faction?
He plays both. I'm kind of. I can't put. I wouldn't bet my money on it wherever one he's going to play. So we'll see. All right, here we go. Probably Austere, maybe. I think. But on a map like that, I think OKW has been doing really well. I think in all the matches we've watched so far, OKW has done very well on Crossroads.
Yeah. I mean, OKW is doing very well on most things at the moment, to be fair, like better than it ever used to. But yeah, it's a good choice all around. Let's do the winner of the raffle, because I'm aware that we had a raffle running. Last time it was Kuzenquers, and we're going to do This Is for Ashes of the Singularity. The winner for that is going to be Corwin. So Corwin, congratulations, you're the winner for the raffle there. I'm going to write you your own message on Twitch. As I say, like, you'll get a message from me later on this evening. Give me a reply and I'll sort out codes and things for you tomorrow. There will be more raffles going on throughout the course of this stream. So make sure you stick around for those if you want any more Company Heroes 2 commanders. Just actually seeing what the next game has been picked. You're wrong, Hans. You're wrong. Oh, no, you were right. You said OKW, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry. You're right, Hans. Sorry. Do you remember?
Yay.
Do I remember? Does anyone remember?
Actually, I said Austin, but...
Was anyone listening?
Never mind.
We're going to have on our next game Brits versus OKW. I actually really like this. I really like this matchup at the moment. I really like the Brit OKW matchup because, you know, like you do have the LEIG counter for emplacements. You do have really good play AEC to light vehicles from the mechanized. So I actually like seeing this. I really like seeing this. And I feel like Brits are kind of not as tied down as Soviets are to their teching. You know how like Soviets have, you know, your tier 1 AT counters and your tier 2 AT counters. Can't get your AT gun without your tier 2. Like Brits just kind of naturally go through those stages like really well because you have the AEC and the AT gun in one tier. You know what I mean? So you've got all these things that are like relatively nice early on. I always think that engagement works really nice. I love casting it. But last time we cast this, of course, was...
see what he does.
Yeah. Of course it will, Hans. That's the idea of casting it.
Well, I was going to expand on it, but then you kept on talking. I was going to say, I'm interested to see what kind of strategy he does, because I know what Fredbrik got kind of his play style. I think, if I'm right, he likes to go for trenches. He's a big fan of the trench. He goes and builds a forward trenches and gets his Tommy squads in there early, and that normally helps him hold the territory, and he normally is quite aggressive with them as well. So we'll see if he does that this game. I'm expecting probably maybe early 5-man squads as well from him. Not sure what commander though. We'll see. Yeah.
I think actually wasn't it his replay? Someone was sending replays. I don't know if you remember where. I don't know if it was Fredbrik or not. But you guys should watch this. Like one of the games has an absolutely hilarious. I think Romeo cast it. So like they'd built the British trench. You know, you guys know like how the British trench looks, right? So, and obviously the British trench you get in from the sides. So an OKW player had gone and walled off the sides of the trench really quickly, like ghosting, which meant that the Brits couldn't get out of the trench. Right? So then they incendiaried it, and it's like all the Brits just died. And we had to make a decision. Like, is this abusive? Is it kind of like? But no, I think that's skillful. I actually think if you can do that, you know, the ghosting is fixed now in a fair way. If you can ghost now in close range, like I think you're okay with it.
Have you seen the ghosting though of like vehicles and stuff though?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can Google wagon gets up close, and then they start building like a tank trap or a wire behind it to stop it moving around. That stuff I think is and probably shouldn't be allowed. But I think
you can
for
do it quickly,
though,
though, you know, if you can do it quick enough, I think that's hilarious and amazing.
But the Kubel should I think the Kubel automatically can crush wire and stuff. So there might be a bug within the game that unfinished wire should you know, you can crush with it with the Kubel wagon or an M3 or whatever. But for some reason unfinished you can't. So
maybe that's the next stage of fixing those units. Fixing that structure.
In a couple of years' time, maybe.
Maybe. Right, we're going to load into this one. I'm going to take a very quick bathroom break, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I mean very quick. No, I want to make sure I can pause the game first, just in case we're past the observer delay time. Let's just see when we go in. Okay, we've got a minute before the game starts. So, Hans, I'm going to leave you in control of the stream. The GCS is in your hands now. No pressure.
Oh, no.
And no spilling NDA, Hans.
Well, I didn't do anything. You make things obvious if you talk about that. All right, then, lads. And how's everybody doing? So we're up. I don't know if you can actually see any of the game footage right now. Probably not. But we have Fredbrik in the south that we're playing Brits, and Talisman is OKW in the north. Commander selections that we do see is Special Weapons Regiment. It's one I've been using a lot lately. The Tank Hunter Infantry section with the resupply half track. Later on, we have like things like the Crocodile. He's also got the Royal Engineer Regiment, AVRE. Not sure if we'll see this as a very uncommon pick. I think I don't know why he has that. He may go for it. Might surprise us, but that would be probably in contention for a non-meta commander choice, I think. And also we have my favourite Brit commander, Mobile Assault Regiment, with the Infiltration Commanders and Land Mattress. Tasman's got, on the other hand, Special Operations Doctrine with the Command Panther at the end. Got the Panzer Fusilier Commander, and we have the Scavenge Doctrine with the Ostwinds and Jaeger Light Infantry Units.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
What have you been talking about? I've gone for a minute and I can see chat. A pikey's really a thing in England. What's been going on, Hans? Been having a little rant there, have you?
I've done nothing. I wasn't talking about you at all.
Oh, really? Really? You're going to do that to me before we go into a game?
No. Watch it back if you don't believe me.
I don't believe you, and I will, so...
Oh, you bastard.
Alright, okay. Oh, let me just make sure the scores are correct quickly before we go into this, because... Definitely been getting that wrong previously this game. I don't say it rudely, I wasn't expecting Fredbrik to take game one, because game one's normally like the least serious game that it gets played in the series. You know, both players have a little bit of a mess around. I would have assumed Talisman could have handled that yesterday, handled that well. But I mean, just like based on how he was yesterday, I was kind of right, you know, that KD. It was the sign of bad things, Hans. It was the sign of bad things.
Possibly.
Anyway,
maybe he's going to stop messing around now. He's going to put his serious face on after realizing, you know, because maybe he underestimated his opponent last game. You know, he was cocky and he thought he could beat him 3-0. Now he's on the back foot. I think he's going to step up his game now and try and play to win. So let's see.
Fingers crossed. All right, here goes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game 2 of this series. We have on this side again, just again in general, but not today. I don't know why I said again. We have the British faction being played by Fredbrik. Hey, hooray! That's what I was thinking of. I mean, Hans, you tell me that this is Fredbrik's primary faction. This is what he is good at. He's just cleared game 1 against Talisman, and
I think he's looking very strong, and I think Talisman is going to be up against it in this game, especially with Fredbrik's Brit play. He is beatable. I've beaten it before, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So it looks like Fredbrik is going to go focus on the right-hand side with his first infantry, going for a Bren gun as his 3rd unit, which is quite interesting. Maybe he's thinking he could try and rush down the Kuba wagon. The Bren gun carrier will, even without the upgrade, will defeat the Kuba wagon in a 1-on-1 fight. For those who don't know.
You say, sorry, the universal carrier will win, won't it?
Yes.
Always, yeah. But interesting. I mean, yeah, you said last game, of course. You know, you think Talisman would go austere here, and of course he has picked OKW. Now, OKW has actually been pretty popular in this tournament so far over austere. And I actually just trying to think, you know, what are the reasons for that? I mean, I've always put OKW down as a very strong faction to play against allies, just because, you know, in tier 1 you do get the counters. You know, you've got your 30 munition mines. That's already a positive over austere with your 50 munitions. You know, you get your AT out in tier 1, regardless of it being absolutely useless. You know, you get it in tier 1. So I mean, there are benefits, I think, to playing OKW against allies at the moment. But do you see that? Would you rather play austere? How are your thoughts on the two Axis factions?
The sniper game is a lot more effective against Brits. So if you're playing austere and you go for the austere snipers, you can really bleed the Brit player early if they haven't gone for a Bren gun carrier. And even if they have got a Bren gun carrier, you can always keep a grenadier near your sniper to get the Faust off if you need to.
We're seeing some excellent pushing here, by the way, from the Universal Carrier. And he's pushing a lot of the units around whilst dealing damage to the squad. Stone Pioneers get a little bit of close-range DPS on there, but they're now going to have to retreat past the Rifleman through some negative cover.
They are focusing him.
Yeah, they are a little bit. Doesn't get the model wipe, though. Now we're going to see Vickers replaced with the Tommy squad inside the Central House garrison. And, I mean, Brits are slow to start, so, I mean, I don't really think this looks too bad for Fredbrik at the moment. There's only 3 Volks on the field so far, so not really too much for him to deal with, but we do have a 1-man Tommy squad in that garrison. Hits the retreat.
I think he just wants to make sure he can get some more territory cap before he retreats that back. A little bit risky, but it is about 20% health. It's not that risky. Vickers did try and open up on that squad, right?
Do you remember we were talking about the ghosting? We're actually seeing the ghosting coming in right now. This
irritates me a lot.
It's really good. I love it.
He's not even anywhere near it, and he's managing to put up the sandbag. That's what's annoying. But thankfully, Talisman is too quick to fall for that cheap abusive stuff, and gets out of there and forces those Tommies back to base.
I mean, it's a very interesting mechanic. It's probably something that it could be looked at, but you know, you have to be on top of that kind of thing. You know that if somebody's doing that and trying to ghost you to get the benefit out of their unit, they're not going to be focused elsewhere. You know, like if you see Fredbrik doing that, might be the time to throw a grenade somewhere else and see how much he's actually paying attention to across the field. But Universal Carrier there done its. Yeah, it's much better this game, isn't it? I get the feeling Talisman is putting a little more thought into this game than he did the last one. Hasn't managed to get his 3-0 series that he promised us, but looking much better for him right now.
They're trying to take it.
Vickers being very aggressive. You know, he's moved it up like in the mid, like totally unsupported. Yes, he's managed to suppress that Volkswagen squad, but it's totally open to a flank. Mechanized has just been fully constructed. Talisman is not far off building himself a Panzer II. He just needs the manpower for it. He's got the fuel. And Talisman's still been able to maintain the cutoff against Fredbrik. So Fredbrik is really looking on the back foot here.
It looks like he's upgrading Vickers on the Universal Carrier right now, so he's going to go... at least you have something that's very mobile, very easily going to be able to help the fights against the Volksgrenadiers while the Brits push up for cap. So I really do actually like that upgrade that's coming on. He's gone for the Tier 2 already. Engineers are on the field, so hopefully we get to see that AT gun in, or at least have the engineers planting the mines. But you know what? He's already spent his fuel on 5-man squads. So I think actually he's going to be a little bit on the back foot in terms of countering this Panzer II.
Enemy action has destroyed our forward position.
He's only less than a quarter of a CP away from calling out tank hunters infantry section if he wants to for the special weapons regiment, which is what I expect him to do. So he's done just that. So we'll be he'll probably be building that to counter this Panzer II. We'll see if he can use it quite well. I don't think he's put any mines down. I'm just going to follow these sappers. Yeah, no mines down yet for Fredbrik.
Panzer
aggressive
with there.
Over aggressive there.
Sorry,
right.
Panzer II Luke's there, recognising the threat from the Universal Carrier coming in, and nearly made a little bit of a push for it, and then decided that it was going to be more beneficial to chase off these Tommies and the MG squad. Managing to get control over the left. Kubel goes in for a little bit of capping. Universal Carrier is going to have to make a long retreat back. There's pretty much no AT on the field right now. So the Lukes is very, very clear to just chase. And is he going to go for the cutoff? No, he's not. I think he's potentially realized that the Universal Carrier has got away way too quickly. He's going to focus on doing as much manpower damage as he can to the Tommies.
I think he could, if he had gone through the mid to cut off that Bren Gun's retreat, he would have had that. But he might even get this Tommy squad, so it might not be all bad. If he gets the wipe of the Tommy squad, then yeah, I think his decision to focus his Tommy squad would have been worth it. But definitely could have killed that Bren Gun. He's not giving chase here with his Tommy squad. He should.
Oh, what a wasted opportunity.
A chance to get a early wipe there. Talisman misplayed there, unfortunately, not giving chase. Meanwhile, on the left flank, Talisman is moving up with his forces, going to capture that cutoff. Vickers in no cover here, might get focused down.
Yeah, it looks like he's immediately going to remove himself from that engagement. The MG's setting up again, though, which means an incendiary goes in. Stern Pioneer's closing in on a low health Vickers. That goes down. Looking very bad for Fredbrik right now. Panzer II Lukes is 18-aided by the Tommies. And that's a really good engagement there, actually. Sorry, Talisman. Talisman did really well out of those engagements. Look at his like full map control as well. Full map control.
Himself a Vickers. It's really strong. Even got himself some Jaeger light infantry out. He might. Oh, Bren might get Faustus here. Just gets out of there just in time. Nope. Faustus still giving chase. Get the suppression is going off on the Bren. I don't think he'll pin it before he gets the decap off in the sector.
Supplies looking a bit squiffy.
Wow, no territories whatsoever for Fredbrik anymore. Fortunately, I mean, the VPs are still sky high for both players right now. Talisman's about to secure a triple cap, which means that'll start trickling down quickly. But, you know, there's a lot of time still left to play with. Nobody's really lost that much right now. which in a sense is really nice because this game still could be pushed back, but there's a limited window now before Talisman starts to make use of this huge resource income that he's getting. So Fredbrik really has to get on top of things right now, reclaim his side of the map, and then branch out.
Yeah. I think he was trying to do too many things at once to try and grab the left and the right at the one time. Brits, you really need to have all your forces contained within one side. And then once you've pushed off your opponent's forces, that's when you branch out. AT gun is getting flanked by those Volks. Talisman isn't moving up his MG. He is doing it now. Panzer 2 is fully repaired, going to come back into the fight. Meanwhile, Kugel is getting repped as well. The mechanized regiment has been upgraded with repair dudes.
I'm really struggling to see how Fredbrik is going to find a way out of this. I mean, even if he was to go for something like a mortar emplacement, it wouldn't really help him too much later on into this game. But it might help him take some of those territories that are close to his base so he can get some resources in for teching. You know, so it's so funny, like, in this tournament at the moment, I mean, especially today, a lot of these games have been really closed down in the first 10 to 15 minutes. Like, a lot of these really highly aggressive early game pushes. We haven't seen any games that have been, you know, really long, drawn out, you know, tense. A lot of these have been relatively decided from the start. Fredbrik's going for a sniper. What do you think about this decision?
He needs to be able to make worthwhile trades here without losing manpower himself, so it's not a bad goal. I mean, he has an AT gun, so he's okay for the meanwhile, and the boys anti-tank rifle squad to be able to deal with the Panzer 2. So, and it's a bit too soon to expect like a fast Panzer 4, right? Maybe a couple more minutes time. So he's got time to be able to go and invest in a sniper, which I think is the right play. Oh, Talisman almost loses that Jaeger squad. Barely getting away.
Oh, Lux is in a little bit of trouble here, though. AT guns in position to fire. 2 shots off. Very low health Panzer 2. Lux going to have to go back to the base and repair. So, again, another opportunity for Fredbrik to maybe step back out onto the field after pushing away a couple of units that were causing him a lot of trouble. Sniper's going to be a little bit safer whilst the Jaeger light infantry are up and back into the base. But you can just see the struggle here right now.
Struggle is real.
The struggle is real. What's happening here on the right-hand side as well? Surely you'd go for the VP to stop that horrendous drain that's coming in.
Yeah.
Our supply line's broken.
Not sure why. Even if he does grab that point, he won't even get any resources from it because his cut-off has been taken. You know, bad engagement here with Fredbrik. He's like got his squad out in the open against a Volk squad that's in cover. He has noticed that and trying to back away now to cover, but the damage has already been done pretty much from that squad. If the Kugelwagen flanks around the side, that'll be a one engagement for Talisman. So yeah, Talisman really wanting revenge for his first loss of this game. He must be slightly a bit angry that he lost that first game and wanting to get some really nice revenge on his opponent by finishing this game off for under 12 minutes, it looks like.
I would imagine so, and also one of the big things is that, you know, he stands a chance to close this game at 492 VPs, which would put him above what Fredbrik closed in the last game. So
yeah.
you know, he's got good opportunities if he can hold this. He needs to really just steamroll with the resources he's got, though. And Scavenger Doctrine's been picked, so maybe we'll see the Ostwind come in so that he can just keep taking advantage of the really low resource income that Fredbrik's got to deal with at the moment. Every time that Universal Carrier overextends, Panzer II Lux is coming in to try and contest it. You may have just seen the Kugel slip up here. AT gun gets one shot. The Boyd anti-tank rifles will probably pick up the second.
Ooh, left side, Sem Pioneers might go down, or these Tommy squad might go down. Neither player's watching that, I don't think. Too busy focused on the right.
Line's been cut.
Yeah, everything about Talisman's game here is going really well. The decaps are fantastic, leaving Fredbrik with barely any territory constantly. Faust didn't work from the Volksgrenadiers. They're up against the Vickers. Manages to get the Faust off and probably make it out of that engagement with a decent amount of health. We have the Ostwind on the field as well, so that kind of steamrolling we were talking about, making use of the resource advantage, is definitely in effect right now.
See a second boys anti-tank rifle squad. So, what's he got? 2 handheld AT units and 1 AT gun for an Ostwind and a Panzer II. It's not looking too good. If he manages to get a nice flank off and take out that AT gun, that's GG.
Enemy causing trouble, trying to take
Just
one
needs to
of
wait
our
until that
points.
Panzer II's repaired and go in with full guns blazing, I think. Ooh, wipe on the Tommy squad there. They're building that sandbag. Nice first appearance from that Ostwind.
It's a really nice. He's baiting with the Ostwind right now, and as you can see in the distance there, we've got a flank around the side. Jaegerlight infantry with the side. Volksgrenadiers coming in, probably going to be able to decrew the AT gun. Universal Carrier is not equipped to deal with this right now.
Bit of a careless waste of this Ostwind, and it does go down. Could have avoided that, but he has managed to do the damage and kill off one infantry squad and decrew the AT gun. Here comes the Panzer II, freshly repaired. Going to go right down the centre and try and probably pick up this Bren gun. Nothing there to stop it.
There's no way that's going to
go for the salvage on the AT gun. Not sure I agree with this decision to salvage this AT gun when Talisman lacks any kind of AT capability. It's always nice just to make sure you've got one AT gun on the field, just in case.
An interesting choice. I wonder what he would want to go for here, though, because there's so many resources. It's not like he's saving up for anything. I mean, if we see the tier structure, I mean, tier structure is actually on the field, so maybe we'll see a tier 4. It's going pretty far up the right-hand side. I wonder if that's intentional or not. Maybe he's going to try and lock down the VP with it as kind of like a security thing.
Incoming scavenge RT dropped in. Not going to do anything except just deny his opponent, Tasman's opponent, from coming out of the base. You know, a nice way to keep the time wasted and keep the VP train on. But, you know, is it really the best use of 180 munitions? I mean, he is so far ahead now that he probably could just waste those munitions on doing something like that. But, yes.
I love the animations for the tier structures. Like, the barrel just appears, the guy's like, oh, how did this get here? I'll just roll this over here. That'll do something. Very nice. This is difficult. I'm really wondering if Fredbrik will stay in this game for much longer. I wonder what he's actually going for. Because he needs to get the tech sorted. He hasn't managed to tech up, which kind of leaves me thinking one of his better options as the CP climbs is just to go straight for the crocodile. But I don't think that's going to be a good decision for him in any sense right now.
Too far away.
It's way too far away. You know, but teching is also going to leave him in a horrible spot. So making the right decision going for an AT gun right now. But in terms of vehicles, I mean, he's going to have anything that can easily clear infantry. You know, he's not winning any of these engagements. The Jaegerlight infantry is going to be horrible to deal with as this goes on and they get veterancy.
Nice move by Talisman to reverse around the side there, trying to deal the damage to those Vickers squad where it does not benefit from cover. House goes down in the centre.
Was there a squad actually in when it went?
Don't think so, no. Tommy Sword got out and moved to the left. Fox now moving on to the flank. Not sure if this is the best idea for Tasman pushing with a lone and Volk squad. Probably should wait for reinforcements.
Oh, looks like we've got another scavenge 105mm howitzer artillery barrage coming down.
A good time to push in with the Panzer II and the Volks in the north as well.
I mean, this is lethal because really Fredbrik is just getting denied everywhere he goes. If he goes left, barrage, right, barrage. It's really, really difficult for him. He hasn't got anything that he's able to push with. I'm really honestly wondering like what his plan to stay in this game is. Like, where is he going? Is he just hoping maybe that Talisman makes some kind of mistake that he can capitalize on? But 100 VPs left, and you know, really a lot of energy being wasted for a potential next game.
True, but we've got to remember these guys, you know, as true competitors, you probably should try and play it until the bitter end. You know, you never know when your opponent might make a mistake. You never know, you might be thrown in lucky roll of the RNG does, and you might get away, and that might, you know, snowball in your favour. So, you know, there's always, specifically in company heroes, there's always a really good potential for comebacks. You know, if you keep trying.
And that's a very true point. This game can literally turn of its own accord at any time without warning. Definitely a chance. Let's see what Fredbrik's going to do, though. He's definitely putting some emphasis on the left-hand side. Sets his MG gun up in the wrong direction for some reason. But
this is a very good play because he's expecting to be flanked from the far south, from right next to his base, and not from the opponent's direction.
We've 75 points left.
Is he really has?
Who knows? Who knows what they are thinking?
Marksman trained in awaiting a target.
Yeah, he's putting a lot of emphasis on the left-hand side. I think I don't think he's seen tier 4s on the right, but this will probably work out in his favour because if he's able to defend as much as he can mid-left, then he's not going to come up against that problem later on. It's just very difficult to say many insightful things about this game right now. It seems definitively over, in my opinion. Every attempt
gets stolen again here. That's gonna, yeah.
Heavy machine gun
Keeps
crew.
giving away free MGs like that to Talisman. It's just, yeah. Okay, and we have Koenigstiger out, and Fredbrik must have heard the engine of that, because it doesn't matter where it is on the field, you will hear the King Tiger coming onto the field, right? And he must have immediately heard that, and thought, nah, I'm done. Yeah, no way he's going to be able to deal with that. Poor King Tiger didn't even get on the map. But yeah, that's it.
I mean, to be honest, the King Tiger wouldn't have been the catalyst for me to end that game. But there we go, game 2. It's a 1-1 situation now between Talisman and Fredbrik. So, interesting one. I think this could probably be... I mean, both players have played better with Axis. We know Talisman is a good allied player, but he definitely didn't really show that in the first game. So we're going to get to see him play allies again now, and hopefully we see a bit more of an improvement on what we saw previously. Because if he can win his allies comfortably, then I think he stands a good chance to close the next 2 games relatively quickly. Let's have a look if they're jumping straight into this as well. No, they're not. They're not jumping straight in. So yeah, let's have a look what's going on in chat. By the way, 680 people here, so thank you very much everybody for joining today. We hope you're still enjoying the tournament. We've got week after week until the 1st of July when we have our live event finals. And hopefully, I know there's actually loads of people that are coming to the live event finals, which is really good to see. If you guys don't know already, you're more than welcome to come. We got a live event in Leicester in the United Kingdom. But thank you very much for all the follows. I think we just had a sub again a minute ago as well. So thanks for the subs. I think we had Cal, what's his name? Carvajal and Croxy. Thank you very much for your subs. Sidolio is using an absolutely disgusting and not warranted language. Can someone deal with him, please? I will review it. 1 second. Yeah, I can see that too. Bye, Sidolio. Just for now. Take a short break, recompose yourself, maybe get a dictionary out and learn some terminologies that aren't basic, and then come back with something interesting. Where is the beer at? We're not on beer actually today. We're on Sauvignon. Is it Sauvignon? No, it's not Sauvignon. That's a lie. Yes. So we're going to go into game 3 very, very shortly. Hands, predictions?
Yep.
We're going to have... in fact, actually, let's see if they've updated the battle planner. I'd be interested to see if they've gone through with that. They
Predictions,
should
eh?
Dating.
I think Tasman's going to win this next game. I think he's probably going to try a different strategy than the one he tried last time, and be a little bit more careful.
Mm.
He felt really
Talisman's
strong in that last game.
Talisman has actually decided to pick OKW, unless he chose. I guess he must have chose map. Because he had the VP lead, so... That's an interesting one. Actually, yeah, Talisman probably feeling more confident with Axis right now than he is Allies. I guess if he can force, I mean, he knows Fredbrik's going to play Brits, right? He pretty much, you can guarantee that's going to be the case. So if he's just done a really good job playing against the Brits as OKW, then it's a tactically good choice to actually play OKW in that matchup again. I mean, Fredbrik does have the capability though to turn it around if he kind of changes his style a little bit with regards to playing that. Oh, Christoph, it's not intended to be cultured in whatsoever. I went out yesterday for Hans's drunk stream and just bought whatever was on the shelf. It's like that one.
Immediately afterwards.
I know. I had a low tolerance last night, which was weird. For sure. What is the total score? At the moment, the total score is 1-1. We've had one game won by Fredbrik at the start, absolutely hammering Talisman. We then had the reverse of that, where Talisman's absolutely hammered Fredbrik in the second game. So there's no obvious signs right now who's going to win this series. They're both kind of... they've both had a game where they've quite frankly been all over the place. So hopefully we get to see one of these long games where the strategy kind of unfolds over time, but...
Yeah, it's a shame that they've been over after the 20-minute mark, and that's we're not getting to see any of the big tanks and stuff. And yeah, let's hope we'll be treated to a really good game 3.
Fingers crossed that we do. We've got the game here now, so I'll invite you to the observer party. Got a couple of minutes before that will start anyway. But we'll just load in. Let me know when you're joined.
I am here.
Jumping James.
Jumping James.
Do you still have your Revlo set up for like star jumps and things? And squats?
Yes, I do, but not that I've done any in a while.
Guys, you know what to do.
Yeah. No, I'm still not going to do it. I should probably just remove them off the thing.
Probably, yeah. Well, we've got a couple of minutes before the game starts, so anybody in the chat, like if you have any GCS questions and so on, now would be the time to ask. Maybe if you have any questions for Helping Hands. He's a top player. He's actually one of the top seeds in this tournament, getting a little bit of sneaky intel today whilst casting on the fly. We know what you're doing, Hans. We know why you're here. You're not fooling anybody.
My secret evil plans. they have been found.
I was saying like I was mentioning like Tenchi before, because like we were in Sweden with Ishtari, do you remember? And someone was like, like Hans didn't play many games with you. I was like, he was strategically watching replays and like observer mode of people's streams, like judging them, knowing what their strategies were, kind of playing the intel game. So you've got to watch out. Hans is, as J5 has just said, scouting the competition. Ground Trooper AE isn't here today. He's got some IRL things to do. I think it's like a family event. So both me and AE have taken like a day off from this tournament where we couldn't specifically cast it. So very fortunately we have Hans to join. You're doing very well today, Hans, actually.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm surprised I'm doing as well as myself.
The last time I cast with you, I vowed I'd never do it again.
Hey, how come? What, is it that bad?
No,
I remember
not at all, actually.
The last time we did it was when you were wearing a zombie pirate hat, if I can recall correctly.
Oh gosh, that time. Yeah, no.
That was the last time we did it, and we were talking in funny accents. And
I was thinking before that, actually. I was thinking way before that. Actually, the first time we cast together, it was really funny because I had just started casting. I was relatively recent on it. And obviously, like, my 1v1 knowledge was just, like, it's not even close to, like, what it is now. So, like, everything I was just saying, you were just, like, picking me up on. I was just like, well, this is deflating.
Oh.
It's good. It's okay. We're all good
feel
now.
bad now.
No, it's okay, Hans. You've made me strong. You made me stronger. It's good. But 20 seconds until this next game. You guys are gonna get play-by-play by me. Pro insight from Helping Hands on this third game. It's gonna be Fainville approach, and hopefully we get to see the really good game that we've been waiting for so far, because it's been nothing but stomps today to this point.
And here we go.
Here we go indeed. Welcome everybody to game 3 of the series between Talisman and Fredbrik. And this time on the, well, I guess we'll call it the southeast side of Fainville approach. We have Talisman playing once again the OKW faction after just beating what was a confident Fredbrik as Brits.
Interesting that Fredbrik has decided to go for the right-hand side, not the left-hand side. I mean, whatever happens, if you did decide to send your first infantry section to the middle house, the Stern Pioneers would be able to beat you, considering that the houses of any one side only have one window to be able to fire out of. So you have to be careful when you're playing Brits against the OKW. How on the other hand, if you're Austin, you can rush the house on this map with an infantry section.
It's one of those things, like, I think, personally, like, I would have gone right if I was playing Brits. I think, like, that house overlooking the fuel is kind of beneficial. Like, the mid just seems really, really difficult to control. In my opinion, it seems, like, difficult to control against OKW just because you have to be switching so many things. And you also have to go for that kind of Vickers early. But, you know, as you said, like, the windows overlooking that fuel point, relatively strong. I like that Talisman got the green cover up there quickly as well to help him kind of stay in that engagement. Do you think he'll get double fuel from this?
Well, I think the Vickers is probably going to push him off the left-hand side fuel, but the Cooper's coming over here possibly to push around that squad so those Sterns can move in a bit closer. But no, cheeky sandbags. Is he really going to do what I think he's going to do?
I don't know if he's actually going to do that, but
oh, this is dirty. Oh my god, really? This, like, I love how Talisman is just staying there and just been like, and what? I don't give a crap. I'm going to shoot you anyway.
Well, those sandbags are going to disappear when this squad gets further away, but the Vickers really has to make use of that right now. And what a difficult situation for Talisman to be in. Looks like the Kubel really, really struggling to get away. Just manages to make it out. But yeah, I mean, we've seen this before, and people watching this, like, we've already had to make a decision on this, whether we feel this is unfair or not. It was actually deemed this is not unfair. Ghosting was fixed in a patch to be the way that it is, and that is currently a feature of the state of the game.
Infantry section on the right-hand side has managed to push off that Volk squad, and now moving over to capture the fuel.
So what actually looked like a double fuel start for Talisman is probably going to turn into exactly the opposite, where Fredbrik may claim double fuel. Got the Vickers looking on the south side. Kubel's a little bit static there. Even the crew from the MG could finish this off.
I know Talisman sleep at the wheel, literally there. Going to possibly lose his Kubel. He's going to try and run around the side here and hopefully get back to base. Oh,
wow!
So close to falling down here.
What's
he stops.
Wow.
Oh no! Quite lucky there not to lose that Kubel wagon.
He's very lucky not to lose that. I mean, that really has a fraction of health on it at the moment. Any of those light arms fires could have finished that off. So unlucky for Fredbrik, but very lucky for Talisman. We're already seeing Talisman go. He's going to bring out his first OKW truck. So we'll see what he goes for with that. I think we're expecting now that it's probably always going to be mechanized. That seems to be the going thing at the moment. I also like hands, like, thanks to an amazing change for OKW where you don't have to have veteran C1 on the Stern Pioneers to lay the medical supplies. It's like OKW has
been an amazing thing for, you know, give him a new lease of life. I feel just that simple change, because, you know, if you go mechanized, you're always punished so hard before the last patch where you had to, you know, go out with Volk squads at like half health, and then you'd be feeding so much veterancy to your opponent, as well as, you know, you have so much manpower reinforcement to do. So, you know, being able to put down these, because it takes ages for the Sterns to be able to get Vet 1 into the game, probably maybe like 8 minutes or so before they get that. And by then, you know, it's too late to get any benefit from those meds that you might want.
So yeah, I mean, it's been a really, really nice change, and it has allowed that flexibility. it's almost the kind of thing, because there's a number of changes that came in. I mean, you know, like a lot of those vehicles, because I guess Battle Group used to be a little bit of a necessity for OKW in a sense, you know, in order to handle the infantry engagements. And then when you get the light vehicles, they kind of, you know, come in and start rolling over you. And now that you get to go mechanized, it's much more balanced. I do feel it's much more balanced in that respect. But mechanized has definitely become a kind of standard opening. They made the flak half-track stronger, and I really do hope that we get to see more of that, because I've seen some really good flak half-track play in some other games in this tournament. Here we go, Fredbrik once again. Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Oh, this is so silly. Come on, Kubel. We believe in you. You can get out of there. That's probably going to bite the dust. Couple more shots.
Really though, I'm just thinking really, like, how, firstly, how did that die? Secondly,
Sniper just went down.
Wow. At least he got the pickup from that then.
Not a bad trade to lose your Kuba wagon to get a sniper. Definitely not.
Gosh.
A couple of little misplays by Talisman. I mean, he's got this Volk squad that's been sitting by the strategic point on the right-hand side of the map for a long time. Could have moved up and captured some more territory. Will he get this Vickers? We might do. It's going to go down here. Nice. That'd be another nice pickup. That might seal the deal for this game. Gets the Vickers, wipes the sniper and the Panzer II coming out. And what's Fredbrik got? He's got 3 units left and no AT. Yeah, looking grim.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you get for being cheeky with the ghosting bug, right? And Fredbrik's having to bring out the boy anti-tank rifles again. And this didn't work for him in the last game. This really didn't work for him against this Luke's play. So having only infantry on the field right now, I think we're seeing mine placement going down on the left, and that seems to be actually where the Panzer II was headed. Now it's relocating to center, and there's just nothing on the field to deal with this at all. So Talisman's in a great opportunity. Once again, Fredbrik just found himself in a place where he's going to have to try and come up with some kind of tech quickly.
There goes the cow.
Still ghosting. I mean, he's still
trying. He's trying his best. He's got he might even get it here if he manages to get away. He is stalling. Oh, one more burst of those boys anti-rifles, he will get it.
Oh my god.
He's right. He's gonna get this. Wow. Can you really say that is balanced? Like, Crossroads 2 should easily be able to crush that.
I'm officially have to be relic shill on this and say it is a feature, and it's Talisman's fault for closing in the distance. Learn to play Talisman. That's yeah. Very funny.
I don't know, man. I feel like it's abusing the game mechanics. But yes, you're probably right. Talisman shouldn't have got too close.
I mean, yeah, very unfortunate there. Like, if he'd had something else around there, maybe to try and push off the anti-tank rifles, maybe that could have worked. But wow, what a loss to lose the Panzer II in that way. And actually, he finds a way to save the game a little bit for himself after having so many losses there. You know, he's found a way to potentially pull this back. I wonder if Talisman's actually going to feel confident building a light vehicle again, given that this is going on.
Sappers might go down here on retreat. Talisman isn't focusing them with those Volks on retreat. I mean, it's a 4-man squad, but he didn't even try and go for the extra damage on there, I don't think. It's a shame.
Let's just take a quick look at the match stats. Quite clearly, Talisman has been playing a lot of these engagements much better than Fredbrik has. Normally, you see quite a positive KD for Brits, but really, kind of story of this game right now, Panzer II looks going down in the most humiliating fashion possible. And now it looks like with a little bit of fuel on the decrease after going for the battle group in base, it gives Fredbrik a very good opportunity now to try and close in as much territory as he can, try and get those resource points. He's got the sniper on the field, so able to maybe clear out some buildings a little bit quicker than just the infantry alone.
That sniper's got to be careful next to, being near buildings. I mean, he can do it right now because that Jaeger squad is only spawned in, so there's a little window before a new one is possibly able to call in. But the Jaeger squad can really quickly take down an enemy sniper. So you're always going to be super careful when you're near buildings with snipers just in general.
OKW Vickers is not something you really want your opponent to have taken from you. Sniper's going to have to do a little bit of work clearing that from the building, I think. This is Fredbrik's opportunity to really go and claim some territory on the right-hand side. Should probably look at potentially... I mean, in this position, I would probably be fearing that another Luke's comes out on the field, just because, you know, Fredbrik doesn't have any real territory for him to tech up to anything significant. You know, at worst, it'd probably only be coming up to an AEC.
Most Incendiary coming here on the right-hand side.
Oh,
Also, no, he cancelled it. That was a good fake. Well, Jaeger's sprinting in to try and catch the sniper unawares. They need to be a little bit more closer before they get the shot off, though.
Tough one. I think Fredbrik's, you know, he's had a little opportunity there to actually get some work done. I don't think he's particularly used it very, very well. He didn't push very far out of that. He kind of held back a little bit, tried to get some cover position. Saw it.
Oh, so close. Almost got that building. I think it's because Talisman aimed the grenades on the side of the building and not the center of the building. That is the reason why that building didn't actually collapse. And he would have gotten the wipe as well, I believe, if because all those grenades had connected before he actually got out of the building. So maybe a little bit of a mistake there by Talisman, but almost.
Well, 7 CPs for Talisman playing as a Scavenge Doctrine. I think probably we're going to see him go into the Ostwind. That's kind of what he did in the last game. And Talisman going to salvage. I think he's going to go salvage the Kubel right now. Get a little bit of extra fuel in, so he's got things to play with. But Fredbrik manages to steal a VP, trying to just stem the drain a little bit for now. It's been a weird series.
Come at huge pain.
I think it's been a weird series so far, Hans. Like, there's been a lot of, like, I wouldn't say necessarily mistakes, but there's been a lot of really game-defining moments very, very early on, which I don't think we normally see. We normally see, like, very, very careful play, and then something happens maybe later on in the game that you think, okay, it's starting to tip. But, like, here, I'd say, you know, like, territory control has been, like, phenomenal. Oh, Stern Pioneer squad goes down to the sniper.
Oh, damn, that was a good play there. Yeah, I was just going to say that the sniper is going to really be a pain in Tasman's side if he doesn't deal with it soon. And as to the general way of things of the game, I just think Tasman's just not used to this kind of playstyle from Fredbrik with those kinds of sandbags. It's kind of maybe put him on edge and yeah, put him out of his comfort zone, I think.
I mean, that being said, he's actually making a relatively okay comeback right now. Even with the Ostwind on the field, you know, we have the anti-tank rifle infantry. We've got 2 squads of those on the field right now, 80 guns coming in, so I think the Ostwind's going to be a little bit removed in front of that. If he can get the sniper to work, you know, get the manpower drain coming on over time, then I think maybe he has a chance to look at trying to, you know, out-tech over time his opponent. But it's a difficult situation. Yeah, I think, you know, it's not definitively over yet, though, as it has been in some other games, thanks to that takedown of the Lukes.
These boys, AT Raffles, are going to start to do a lot of damage to this Ostwind. Unfortunately for the boys, they've not really lost many models here, so they can just back away and then heal up and then just stay on the field. That's the great thing about Brits' ability compared to all other factions, is their staying power on the field. If you just rotate in squads like this, here comes a fresh Tommy squad, and if he pulls back this 4-man squad, you know, you can keep that squad on the field, you know, and just keep placing squads, whereas your opponent has to keep retreating.
Yeah, it's a staple of the faction design there, but I think Fredbrik's actually claimed 2 VPs right now. It looks like he's about to go soft cap the right-hand side of the map. And I think he's in a relatively good position.
dangerous there. The cover of that car was destroyed, so the Ostwind was able to do a lot of damage to that clumped up squad. Incoming up, what's this flare? Red flare ability coming down here.
Looks like Brit artillery, maybe?
Yes, it must be the sniper, I think.
Yeah, sniper used it, yeah. Sniper's got, I think, the good throwing arm for that. I think we didn't see another mine planted there on the left-hand side, but look at this, actually, Fredbrik making good ground on territory now. It looks like he's got relatively good control of the middle. 105, yeah, 105 howitzer barrage coming down on the center. Sniper needs to be a little bit careful staying in that area. I'm surprised Talisman's let this happen, to be honest. I mean, like, look at the map control we had, like, not that long ago. Fortunately, he's got so many VPs, you know, to play with at the moment. He's got loads and loads of time. But to get pushed back like that after such a strong position...
Yeah, he's not really made much use of this Ostwind. He's attacked directly with the Ostwind on squads that are in green cover. The boys' AT rifles, so therefore the way Sturms are now out of fighting. They're having to repair this unit, which is going to put Talisman at a disadvantage. Fredbrik, unfortunately, he decided to build a mine and then did not. So it's like they're unfinished still on the left side. Bit of a mistake there. Next to the VP.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I see. Because he did lay one down actually in that corridor. It's a really weird position actually where he's done it. He's laid it by the fence and the hedgerow, which I find very, very strange. Not sure what he's intending to catch there specifically right now. But Talisman's going to have to flex a little bit in all directions. He's got the Ostwind, which is a great asset to his army right now because he's going to be able to really easily deal with all the Tommy squads. AT gun is, as we spoke about earlier, very, very immobile in that respect. It takes a long time to get to where it needs to be. So Talisman's got a great opportunity to use this unit for some really good clearance right now. Also has the potential to start
pushing in here. Be friendly fire, I think. With the Ostwind clumped up. He probably should have just pushed him with the Ostwind and just destroyed the cover and then let the Sturms come in after he cleaned up with the Ostwind. Because the Sturms didn't need to lose 2 models then in that fight. Because the Ostwind had that hands down. And again, he could have probably chased that squad back, and Talisman has, decided not to. Vickers is getting flanked in the middle by a Volk squad to the left. Fredbrik not responding, he hasn't noticed it. Now he has. Probably going to get away here.
Look at this, that last little bit across negative cover. Talisman doesn't decide to stay static and get the higher accuracy shots off to finish. Very, very back and forth. Like, everything's back and forth at the moment. Resources are so low, but I mean, Fredbrik's going to go for the Cromwell. That's in the build right now. And he's managed to get a full decap off of Talisman by capping that point in the center. And that means all those resources on the left-hand side, yeah, are not there anymore. So Fredbrik is really finding good ways to get back into this. The Cromwell is going to be the dominant thing on the field. We have no AT whatsoever from Talisman at this point. 18 minutes into the game. No Raketten. I haven't seen any mines go down as yet. Yeah. Sniper dropping in a very cheeky.
But he's so far off building a tank.
Yeah, I mean, the Cromwell's going to be the unit of value right now. It's going to do a hell of a lot of work.
Section almost got destroyed down the left side, but there's Volks on in a position to be able to finish off the kill on retreat. They retreat. Stolen Vickers is suppressing that infantry section around the mid and pushing back. Ostwind will be moving in to try and flank those. Here comes up the Cromwell down the centre. Nothing here for Talisman to deal with it. Should have expected this.
I just couldn't see any situation to go 20 minutes into the game, really, without having AT. Like, Fredbrik's probably going to spot this straight away that this is the case. And there we go, Cromwell just in the base. There's really nothing to contest this. Is he going to go in for the Ostwind? I think until he sees that Raketten. There's no reason for him to really back out of this.
Just takes out that Vet 2 Vickers. Doesn't pick up to kill it. He does. But be careful with that one-man Vet 5 Volk as well. Lose these guys. He needs to put his infantry behind the buildings to avoid being killed like that. Someone's going to keep having a go here. destroying the mechanized. This is looking really bad. And here comes the 6-pounder AT gun is moving up as well, and also not sitting around doing nothing. Fredbrik is trying to fortify his position even further, building sandbags and making his central position a lot stronger. That's why it's so important to make sure when you need to try and focus around this mid side, because it really greatly influences the game if you manage to get a good hold on your opponent's cut off, especially on a map like this.
Yeah, I mean, dude, what a huge mistake that's being taken advantage of here right now. I mean, this is just free veterancy as well for the Cromwell, because it's able to pretty much climb above half veterancy nearly from firing on the tech structure.
Missed opportunity there to finish off that Schwer. Sorry, the Panzer always going to try and attack round, I think.
Oh, it's a lovely howitzer barrage there. That's a really nice barrage.
That's going to kill that AT gun, I think. He's running right through. He needs to go to the left. Oh.
Yeah, just about makes that decision. I think Talisman also very, very close to his own artillery strike there. Needs to be a little bit careful about his direction on this. Raketten's going to go and ghost cap that strategic point, which should at least bring him back into connection with his munitions, but not the fuel on the left-hand side. If he can go up and get the fuel, then he's clearly back into this game. That was a really good artillery strike, actually. I think that's definitely brought him back into this game in a sense.
Yeah, it's forced Fredbrik to reposition all his units back. And allowed Talisman to re-grab his cut-off here and secure the resources on the left. Bet5 Vulcans needs to be careful, though. Still staying around. One more shot from that Cromwell will wreck it. And the sniper gets another connecting shot.
Probably like it's going to get that last.
Unlikely. Yeah, gets just away in time.
I actually really like, in hindsight, what Talisman did, because, he didn't. In the previous game when we saw Fredbrik, when he was on the back foot, Fredbrik was still out on the field, trying to push engagements constantly, even though he didn't really have the loadout that he needed to counter it. Talisman did the right thing. He sat back. He sat back in the base. He made sure he had the manpower he needed, made sure he had the units he needed, and then he pushed out with the support of the off-map ability. So there's a really nice push there, and everything that he did did actually pay off for him.
I agree there. He's got to be careful. This, he's just sitting there with that Jaeger squad, letting the sniper just constantly pick away at him. It's now bet 3. That is a beast right now, and he needs to figure out a way to deal with that. He needs to either spawn in a Jaeger squad behind it, but he can't really afford that right now because he's saving up to buy himself a tank, which he needs to. I think. Fredbrik just was going to build something. I think he was going to build another Cromwell, but he cancelled it, which makes me think he's probably going to save up for the Croc.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Let's have a look if he's attacking in any way for... No, he hasn't gone for a kind of like a hammer anvil. So yeah, you could be right, actually. He could be going for that. I mean, given that he knows the doctrine choice there has been Ostwind, he knows there's a lot of infantry on the field. I mean, I don't think Croc's a particularly bad idea, really. You could push all of the infantry in this game heavily off the map with that.
Especially when he knows his opponent's only got one Raketten, and a Croc will just laugh in the face of a Raketten. Even attacking it head on, it won't do anything. The Raketten. So Talisman, he's going to lose this game if he doesn't make something happen with his vehicle buy from his Schwer Panzer headquarters. I think he's got enough to be able to buy himself a Panzer IV, but I don't know, Jag Panzer or Panther in this engagement. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's I can see him saving for a Panther. I think because he's gonna need something to ultimately, just side deal with the infantry a little bit as the game goes on. That's sorry, did you say Panzer IV or Jag Panzer IV?
Sorry, Panther. Yeah, I said Panther. Panther and Jag Panzer.
Oh, Jag Panzer. I mean, I couldn't see the Jag Panzer because we'd just be countering one unit. But then I guess for the Croc, he'd have to be assuming that Fredbrik was gonna go for the Croc.
Sturms just get taken out on the cut-off there.
Oh, he replaces them instantly as well. Find that interesting. Oh, loses the Raketten as well in the middle.
That's going to be it.
A little bit sloppy.
Correct decision from Fredbrik to... I think he did decide to attack, move it, to destroy it, but then he was like, you know what, I'm going to steal it. Then I have 2 AT guns and I have the perfect army. If I'm Fredbrik right now, I'd be laughing because he's got... a really good unit composition. Enough infantry, enough MGs, 2 AT guns, and a Cromwell, and then he's got the the Croc coming out as well after that. You know, there's not much that can beat that. And as well as the Spec 3 sniper that is providing recon, and you can drop some flares just to do extra DPS. And mine's being laid on the left-hand side as well, so always keep making sure the squads are doing something. This is looking really difficult now for Talisman. I don't know if he's going to be able to come back from this.
He does have VPs on his side, so I mean, it's not completely out of the question that he could come up with a build that would work for him. I mean, I don't think it's entirely, you know, I mean, he's got the tier 4 up, he's on the field for a Panther right now, so if he can just save up a little bit of manpower, which I think he looks like he's sitting in base doing. I don't know why he went for the Raketten when he has the, he could have had the resources for the Panther. I'm not 100% sure on that decision, to be honest.
I think you always need some kind of AT like that. I think he will be going for the Panther as well, but he needs the AT now. British AT gun getting caught out there, does get taken down. Instantly recruited by the Tommy section.
Ready to cause all kinds of havoc.
Oh, he does call that crocodile in.
Our capture point.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, let's just see how this one goes. I mean, currently Fredbrik, I couldn't see at this point how Fredbrik could throw this. The army is huge. Like, he should be able to push out in all directions as long as he makes use of munitions, starts laying mines and things, which we see that he is doing, as on the right hand side. You know, keeps a huge focus in on the center. The Croc at this point can probably just roll in through the center. The second Raketten being built, so Talisman isn't going to go for that Panther. He clearly sees the AT being, the AT needed, as you say, being like immediate. Like, he needs that. Maybe
he's going for a King Tiger, like saving the fuel for that instead. I mean, that wouldn't be a terrible choice, but here comes a Croc right down the base. One Raketten to deal with it for the moment.
Oh, Jesus.
Raketten doesn't want to fire. There we go. And first shot bounces. Such a good unit. And again.
And the second. I mean, Croc is very, very highly armored. I'm surprised he's even retreating out of that engagement, if I'm totally honest.
Enemy threatening a capture point.
I really like how Fredbrik is just constantly making sure all his units, you know, are in cover, ready to go for the next engagement. The central position he's built for himself is really nice. I'd like to see Talisman try something different. Like, he keeps attacking down the center and keeps getting wrecked. Oh, his Volk's getting burned alive by this Croc over here.
What is the Ostwin trying to achieve? Ostwin versus Croc. What do you reckon, Hans?
Well, if the Ostwin managed to flank it.
Yeah.
No, even then, he's dead.
Yes. Sniper's there for a little bit of sight. Talisman's actually found a way to get to the left VP. This might pull Fredbrik off of the center a little bit. It might be actually just what he needs in order to try and split Fredbrik up a little bit and maybe hit some gaps. I think Talisman's going to get frustrated, though.
Just go over there.
I think this is going to frustrate Talisman. He was so certain that he was going to close this series 3-0. And he definitely hasn't done that. In fact, if Fredbrik wins this, he'll only need to win one more to close the series. And that means that Talisman has to put a hell of a lot of effort into the next game. He's been cheated out of this game, really, you know, back to the sandbags. You know, losing that Luke's has really changed the course of this game in huge ways.
Not far, we offer King Tiger. Too far. 20 more fuel. Oh, this Raketten's just going to get burned. It goes with the Ostwin does manage to kill that Boys 80 rifle squad, but this Cromwell's going to quickly run as fast as it can and go over to the right hand side and see if it can finish off of that Ostwin. One Raketten and it's retreated. That Ostwin's done for. It's a shame.
Yep. Farewell, Ostwind. Farewell. I don't know, actually, has he spotted it? Is he going to chase it?
I think he's going to try, but he's a bit slow. No. Oh god. It's a long way around. Misses. That Raketten gets in there. He might be able to. No, I still think it's dead. Well, if he gets behind the Spur, Be all right.
I think he saved it. Somehow,
Wow,
I think he
that
saved it.
is really, I'm really shocked that Fredbrik didn't play that better, and he could have easily taken that out. Slow to keep chasing. I mean, he's doing the right thing here, destroying that racket in there, keeping his opponent AT options at an all-time low. Yeah, he must be same for the King Tiger.
Yeah, he would have had the Panther out by now if he was going to go for that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess double Racket and King Tiger is a very good combination. It's, I would have pulled the Panther out early. I just thought that maybe would have been the best option. But I guess, actually, King Tiger is going to be an excellent squad wiper. In fact, he's really, with the Ostwind, the veterancy on his units, double Racket is like he stands a very good chance of just wiping all the infantry Fredbrik has. VPs are well on his side, too. Just
He's got time. He's got time to make a comeback. Oh, as Volk's got to get out of there. That 18, that British 18 at the mid is facing the wrong way as well, which isn't going to be a good start to this King Tiger engagement. Right, he should be realising what's on the field now, Fredbrik. Let's see if he's doing anything. Okay, he's getting his AT gun now, moving to the right hand side where he expects the AT gun, the King Tiger to appear from. Sniper's still tapping away on 35 kills.
35 kills doing actually very, very well. 1 per minute, which is kind of like still very good for a sniper, actually. In the top level, you're looking at like 2 per minute. We don't see that, but here we go. King Tiger. Let's just hope there's no mines because it's being very, very boisterous here, going straight through the center of the map.
Volk's just going up really close towards that Vickers in the center, not really being able to get a grenade off here, trying to. Might clear it off.
Oh gosh, he trips the Cromwell with the mine. Wow, okay, so nice little steal there. King Tiger's going to back off a little bit. He's got the VP on the right-hand side, going to reconnect his fuel. Now he just needs to push up a little through the mid whilst those tanks are off. So King Tiger already making its mark on the field. This really is the beast that will help change this situation around for him. People in chat calling for the people in chat calling for him to sandbag the King Tiger.
Oh no.
Hey, it could happen. Anything could happen with sandbags.
We're probably going to see advanced repairs go up on the infantry sections there. One of them do have heavy engineers, so that's going to help prepare those Cromwells, like Cromwell and that church, a lot faster. Bet 5 Volk almost going down in the middle, gets back to safety. King Tiger trying to have a go at that AT gun, but loses.
You know what, as long as he plays this carefully, I mean, the King Tiger is one of the best, obviously, like, supporting units. As long as he has, like, a good front line, you know, gets the Ostwind covering the flanks, like, the King Tiger will just squad wipe at range, which would be absolutely fantastic for him at this point.
He's got the repair engineers as well for the mechanized trucks. That's going to help him repair up his tanks. Oh. Volk's Grenadiers go down in the north. Not what Talisman wants right now.
Yeah, that was a late retreat, actually, to be honest. They were there on low health for quite a while. Looks like he's going to take that second VP. It's too much. I mean, he needs to... he's done well. Like, the King Tiger's obviously doing a really good job. It's going to start, like, weakening Fredbrik down over time. As long as he's prepared to actually just pull back for a second, he's still got VPs enough on his side that he can pull back, repair, and just keep hitting until it's done. I think sniper there for the Brits.
Oh, here comes the Cromwell. He's going to try and go for it. Main gun destroy critical. Oh no!
Oh, how unfortunate.
Oh, but he gets a bounce. No Faust available. That Cromwell's just going to get around there and finish off that poor King Tiger. I think it's all she wrote for Talisman. He couldn't afford that right there.
No, I mean, I really wonder if he's going to stay in this game with this. He doesn't have enough really to build anything else right now. Could have taken that further back. I mean, just didn't retreat the King Tiger far enough. Cromwell's going to get out there pretty much unscathed.
Also, might have been able to kill that Cromwell if you try to chase it.
Look at that croc. Flames everywhere right now. Nowhere is safe for infantry. Burning on the retreat path. What is Talisman going to do here at this point? That was a really decisive
Screams.
push from Fredbrik. I mean, he did the right thing there. Do you know what I mean? He like capitalized on that opportunity he had. I think he played that very, very well. Because it was really going to be a difficult situation for him if that King Tiger was repaired and coming back onto the field like that. So he made really the best of the situation he had. It's definitely paid off. But for Ostwind wants to try and avenge his fallen teammate though.
For Ostwind, it will be doing a lot of damage, but it's not going to do anything compared to the scale of things here. And that's it. It's a shame. Talisman, big mistake losing his Panzer II in the early game. Didn't do anything with it, and that gave Fredbrik enough time to regroup and come back into the game. Talisman just shouldn't have lost his cutoff. That really hurt him, like not being able to hold that point on around the middle point in his cutoff point. As for going for the King Tiger over the Panther, I think the King Tiger choice was okay. I mean, he still had time to come back, but ending up losing it there, and also him losing the Volk as well as the Raketen shortly before that, really cost him. If he hadn't lost those couple of units and played a bit more safe with the King Tiger, we probably would have looked at a lot more. Really, I think he still had a good potential for a comeback. But yeah, shame.
It is a shame. I actually think, like, as good as an idea the King Tiger was, the time it took, for him to get there, like, how much time did he spend not doing anything, like, letting Fredbrik go strong, get defensive positions all over the map, like, it kind of felt like he needed something quickly and just didn't go for it. But I do think, like, pinnacle of that game was just losing the Lukes as he lost it, because it was at that point in time, he'd picked up the Vickers, he'd wiped a sniper from Fredbrik.
Yeah,
it was nothing on the field. Like, Fredbrik to come back from that, he's got to be feeling happy with himself. Because
I think didn't I say during that game, like I said, like he lost the sniper, the Vickers are stolen, he's got 3 squads left.
Yeah.
And he managed to come back and win that. That, if Talisman realised that, damn,
it's a tough one.
See, just shows you how comebacks can happen in this game. Even if you're down and out, you think you're down and out, just keep on at it. Your opponent might make a silly mistake like Talisman did there with his Panzer II, and through some a bit cheesy tactics, take it out.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to be expecting that now, though. I mean, it really, the whole thing with sandbags were adjusted to a certain point. Perhaps they could be looked at further, but it's not really my place right now, do you know what I mean, to comment on whether it should be on and off. Like, we had to make a decision previously on it. So it's kind of done and dusted. But here we go. Next game is going to be a game 4. Fredbrik's going to play OKW versus Talisman's Soviet play. Back on Fainville approach. I mean, the Talisman bailed his first game really hard with Soviets, so I hope we get to see something a little bit different, a little bit more structured this time, because this is an important game. This is either going to be Talisman knocked out the tournament or Talisman with a chance to play again in the 5th game. It's a difficult position for him to be in psychologically. He's got to be under a little bit of pressure right now, but at least he knows that. At least he knows that Fredbrik isn't playing Brits. I think that's at least he's got that to comfort him.
Yeah. We'll see if he goes with the same Soviet conscript strategy. I think he might change it up because he didn't have much success with it this time. But it's a different map. Might be able to, do a different, perform it better. He's got all that green cover to utilize around the mid with all those walls there. We shall see. I mean, if he gets a Disco in that central house, if that is his strategy, then that'll be a big tough cookie to crack, I think.
Yeah, I guess because typically a lot of the time as well, we've seen that mechanized go in first, haven't we? So it'll be a long time if he does do that before the ISG comes out, if it comes out. But then I guess it's still like 3-prong flankable, isn't it, in the center? So if with the right, provided that your opponent wasn't so set up on the field, like you would be able to flank it two times and incendiary it. It's a tough one. But Anyway, we're going to anticipate game 4 being a pretty intense game because Talisman is either going to put on one hell of a show, or I very, very much hope he's going to put up a very, very big fight against Fredbrik. Two players who really, really do want to go through to the next round, and it's been a really brutal series so far, actually. It's one of those that hasn't been necessarily like exciting to the core, but it's been devastating for both players. Like, the games have been disgustingly one-sided each time, and that was probably the most even we got. But again, you know, like, they just end up in dire situations. But we're gonna go for a quick break. We're gonna take a 5 minutes before this next game kicks in. So Hans, if you need to do anything, want to grab yourself a coffee, go to the bathroom, go do that now. I'm certainly going to do that. And yeah, guys, we're going to be back in 5 minutes for games 4 and potentially 5 if Talisman can win. I'm going to put up a poll to see if you guys think Talisman can manage it. And then we'll crack on. I'll also open up the raffle, so if you guys want to win, we're going to give away 2 Company of Heroes 2 commanders, ! Raffle in the chat. You'll be entered, and we'll draw that at the end of this next game. So see you guys very shortly.
All right, bye-bye.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 4 of this last series of today, Talisman versus Fredbrik. It's been a really rough series so far. We have had absolute stomps, we have had games that have been turned around absolutely at the last minute, but this time, Talisman's going to be playing one of his favourite factions, the Soviets, up against Fredbrik, who has played a very, very solid OKW today. I'm here casting with helping hands, and Hans, how are you feeling about that? How are you feeling about that 3-0 that Talisman predicted earlier on?
I think he was. I don't know. Maybe the alcohol last night was getting to him. That's probably what I think now. And he looks like he's opening up again with the same kind of Soviet conscript build. I mean, he wasn't very. He was like hardly at all successful with that last time that he tried it on the first game and lost. But we'll see if he manages to make something of it this time around. And we can see Fredbrik here quite wisely putting down some barbed wire by this central house, which will deny the entrance of this house to on Talisman's side.
Yeah, I mean, he's gone straight in with Lend-Lease as well, so I think we know what the strategy is going to be here. Personally, I think I'll be surprised if I see him go the 4 cons again, but it definitely looks like it's going to be the 4 conscripts to Dishka. I just hope that he does decide to get mines or AT gun out, because, you know, that was the big thing in the last game. The double Panzer II Lukes really destroyed him. And it was very, very difficult for him to deal with. Instantly pushed off by Stern Pioneers on the left-hand side. We see an instant retreat from the engineers there. We've already got green cover sandbags being built by Volks Grenadiers on one of the strategic cutoffs. So, nice little start from Fredbrik there. Kubal's going to be able to back cap whilst the Volks and the Sturms really push up the field. And how do you feel about capping this long fuel on the right hands? Because it's so easy for Fredbrik to cut off.
Let me just have a think for a second. I think it's okay, though you need to... It's so important to focus around the center. I can't stress enough that this central house is the gateway to success on Fainville. If you don't go for this and you let your opponent just be able to build up defenses, and like, for instance, you let your opponent here build the wire on your side of that house, you're going to have a really tough time. Any Dishkas that want to get into that house are going to have to go around the long way around to get into it. Or you're going to have to vest into sweepers to be able to cut that wire, which is going to be one less flamethrower now. I mean, you can't just crush that wire with an M3, for instance. And also, if you let your opponent get established on the left-hand side, you know, there's no cover for you to go grab that cutoff point on the left-hand side, you see? And those conscripts are going to have to, like, overwhelm him with numbers to be able to push off that Vox squad right now.
Well, I guess that's one of the things, at least, that Soviets are good at, and especially by faction design, they will be trying to overwhelm by numbers, something that Talisman is clearly going forward the 4 conscript build. Unfortunately, though, to do with those numbers, you have to have the squads at least close together. And this kind of strategy of going out and trying to cap loads of different areas with these relatively weak squads in comparison to what Fredbrik's fielding is not going to work out particularly well. We're seeing the same situation, Hans, where, you know, a lot of early game map control for OKW, tier structures coming in. This is like a clockwork mechanism for Fredbrik and Talisman. They've both played it the same way. You know, mechanized is probably going to be fielded. We're probably going to see that Panzer II come out before 6 minutes. The question is really, how is Talisman going to deal with it this time? Because he didn't do a good job of it last time. Medical supplies going up. We want to see the AT grenades at least on the field this time.
I think, again, what he's done wrong here is he spread half his forces again. He went half right and half left, and he's completely fallen apart on the left-hand side. And once, you know, Fredbrik's realised this, conquered the left, destroyed the small half of Talisman's army there, and then he's moved his entire force to the right, pretty much, and then conquered that tiny half of his army. So he's like conquering, dividing, and this Kubel though is getting very low. Gotta be careful. I meant to pull that out there in time. But yeah, because Talisman's just split his forces up. He's not been able to solidify any control on this map. We do see Talisman going for tier 2, so we might be thinking of going for a Ziz gun, because, you know, he must realise that his map control is poor and he needs some kind of way to counter vehicles here.
I really respect that decision. This is a sign of a player that has learned from his mistakes, which, you know, mistakes were made in a previous game 1 of this series. You know, he's actually taken that on the chin and said, you know what we missed in that last game, tier 2. Hopefully we see that AT gun out in the next minute or so, because we do... Actually, it's battle grouper that's gone up, not mechanized. We do see a little bit of a change there. Maybe the AT gun isn't needed, which is going to really psych Talisman out.
Right? I kind of think that's what's going to happen. He's going to build the AT gun, assuming there's going to be a Panzer II come, and then Fredbrik's going to be laughing because he's like, "Oh, I haven't got any armor. What are you going to do? This gun's useless."
All Talisman's
yeah,
going to have is more infantry at better health. So, yeah, that's a really, really nice. I wonder if that's done intentionally. Really, I'm not 100% sure if it was, given that there's already medical supplies dropped on the ground. But yeah, it's.
Here comes the Dishka.
Interesting one so far. Flak half track in the build. OKW flak half track, which is a pretty good unit at the moment. I was actually saying earlier, I hope we get to see this unit. I hope we get to see it because it has been changed. It does play very well now, and it's also going to do very well against 4 conscripts. He's going to be able to suppress very easily from the get-go. A well-defended flak half track is kind of like a mobile tier 4 in essence.
A good spot there by Fredbrik. He quickly microed his grenadiers around the other side of those sandbags as he's noticed the flank coming in there. Good grenades as well, forcing those conscripts to move.
What a perfect time to pop those STGs. Very, very nice.
Conscript might go down here on the left side, retreating back through the fuel point. No, I think it's okay.
Here it is, the flak half track. I wonder where he's going to go with this, really, because of course he needs to maybe use this to lock down some sectors. I wonder if he's going to push it quite far up the map and maybe use it to control some of the territory decaps for a while. Talisman's actually put a very, very clever mine down onto that strategic decap on the right, knowing that he's actually gone to the right side. He may actually find this works. He may actually get the payoff for this straight away. The flak half track's coming in that direction. It's going to set up right now. Do we still have minimum range? I'm not 100% sure we do. Engineers running by the mine, though, could trigger it. Oh, that's a close one.
Nasty hits there. I would expect Fredbrik to get the flak truck and then set it up on that north cut-off point, not the left-hand side. He's got to be a little bit careful of that Dishka that's set up behind him.
Nice mines coming down there. This is good. I mean, Fredbrik is clearly preparing for Talisman to come back with something. AT gun's going to come on the field now at the site of that flak half track. Panzer Fusiliers, which means breakthrough doctrine picked for Fredbrik. So nice to see, different strategies coming on, not the special operations doctrine. Completely different strategy from Fredbrik. And I mean, he's got a game in hand. He knows he can play around here a little bit. May even be worth his while because, he's played much better with Brits, really, hasn't he?
I think so, but nice pickup maybe on these conscripts of retreat here. Be careful, don't donate that mine. Oh, he forgot to put the half track on the handbrake, so it didn't move. It moved then slightly. But Fredbrik does get the cutoff, and now Talisman has only got 1 territory connected. Not good at all. This AT gun will push back Fredbrik.
Yeah, he's in a better situation now than he was previously, to be honest. I mean, it's thanks to having the AT gun there, I think he still does stand to make this work out. He's going to be getting the territory on the left side, probably with the fuel, so he may be able to split axis up a little bit whilst he controls and focusing the right-hand side again. If he can get the decap, then at least he's denying fuel whilst having fuel of his own, so he might just reset some of that resource game that's been kind of not in his favour for the last couple of minutes.
Just gonna check something, one sec.
Yeah, of course, no worries. Do you think your pizza's finally arrived, Hans?
No. Just having a look here at the seeding here. So Fredbrik is seed 9 and Talisman is seed 8. We couldn't get any more neck and neck than that, I think.
No, to be honest, the seeding for this was done very, very carefully, and I think that's why the seeds that you get that are close together, we had it previously with 2 other players, that was a very close series, and it's worked out quite well, to be honest. I mean, we have seen
barrage here on those folks. Close.
We have seen some upsets in the tournament so far, but. Again, Fredbrik, Talisman is more known as a tournament player than Fredbrik is, so I guess people may be 50-50 on, how Fredbrik will perform in a tournament, but I think he's showing himself very, very well right now. You know, he's definitely got a tournament player-esque style about him. You know, he's switching up his style. He's playing his style well. He's brought something new to the tournament. Yeah, granted, it's a little bit trolly. You know, he's bringing his own thing.
Attack round maybe here. Oh, he tries it. Good attempt though from Talisman. He almost gets the flak half track. If he was slightly to the left, he probably would have connected and finished off the flak half track. A little bit careless there from Fredbrik to run through there. Unsupported with the half track. Got some cheeky Fusiliers. Do you see those in the north?
Yeah.
I'm just grenade off, I think.
Yeah, I think he just drew out the fire there with a squad on the right-hand side. They've just now switched. There goes the incendiary as well, so double nades on that. Gonna force the Dishka out of that building. Very low health Panzer Fusilier squad though. You have to be careful of the conscripts.
No take from Talisman. Still on almost on 6 CPs now. 4 more for the Impulse Shermans. He's just messing up his fuel, I think.
I think I can see that because he's not actually pushing any major points on the map right now. Like conscripts are just capping the strategic points, which makes me think he is actually going for that resource climb, as you say. We
do have a Raketin from Fredbrik, so he's expecting a T-70, but it's not coming right now. So kind of a bit like maybe he was being too preemptive here. This might allow Talisman to come back into the games. It's Talisman is just getting more and more anti-infantry units, whereas this Raketin's going to be useless, to be honest.
I mean, I don't disagree with him having AT on the field because you never know. I mean, it's good to have it there. Yeah. I mean, it was you know, I think that's been a mistake in previous games, hasn't it, by players, is that they haven't had that on the field. At least it's there. I don't think it's like he necessarily needs to have an extra squad of anything else on the field. You know, he's doing perfectly well, so it's nice that he's covered himself. My interesting thought actually would be, like, has he been planting mines around? You know, has he made use of the time he's had on the map to lay some mines and maybe either pick up the model wipes or maybe just get that first engine damage on a T-70 or whatever comes out.
I'm liking the play now by Fredbrik to get himself the LEIG out. These units are going to be really helpful on against the support weapons, the Dishka and the Ziz gun here.
This Talisman's really crawling to get that territory decap there. Not so much need for it though. It's a nice flank by the Dishka. Looks like Dishka gets inside that central building. AT guns trying to pummel the flak half track, which has to smoke out of the engagement.
That was very close. Conscripts might go down the centre. One-man squad. Okay, Dishka is focusing those. Well, Dishka on the right, sorry, got flanked and is now forced to retreat.
This is very fragile. This is fragile on all fronts right now. We do have the ISG, which is on the field, which is going to be good against the Dishka's very low health engineer squad. Gets incinerated by the Panzer Fusilier G43s there. And this is actually turning into quite a furious game. I get the impression Fredbrik is really trying to go cutthroat playstyle here, constantly pushing the map, constantly pushing the decaps. And Talisman's just trying his best to play a stable game, trying to make sure he controls territory, and it's actually working for him this time. I think he's actually having a little bit of a comeback here. We have another tech structure on the field.
Oh, the Dishka in the central house. That's what I was talking about. That freaking wire has screwed up the Dishka. And
look how desperate he is for it, Hans. He's going to run straight into cap.
He has to. This is the smart play. He needs to. He needs to get out there. This gun barrage coming in now. It's just got to run.
Oh, wipes the gunner model, which means it's slowed down. This is tense. This is tense. It's going to die. It has to die, right? G43's on the Panzer Fusiliers. There it goes. Now he's going to run forward and also probably get the shots on the AT gunner. There's no way they're getting away with the AT gun.
Truck overextended. Probably getting taken out by the Dishka here. Big mistake there.
Probably on some kind of Q command. Panzer Fusiliers pick up the AT gun, drops a nade on. And where's the flak half track in this? Is the flak half track available? In fact, he's going to take the Dishka and he's going to suppress the conscript squads with the stolen Dishka.
Oh no.
That is a huge loss for Fredbrik, really, on all fronts.
Conscript on the left-hand side not doing anything that could have been coming into support here. But this is a huge blow to Talisman, losing both the Ziz gun and the Dishka.
Sorry, I meant
and that
Talisman,
was only because... That was only because of the wire. See, that one bit of wire, or 2 bits of wire rather, enabled Fredbrik to come back into this game. Well, he's already in the game, but like pretty much almost seal the deal on Talisman.
Gosh. Well, here's that brutal territory decap again. It's going to remove all resources. And Talisman has been enjoying double fuel for at least a little bit of time, but that's going to be cut off from the left-hand side now. Very, very good decapping here using the Dishka to get the line decaps. And it's looking very, very grim. Although he does have enough fuel stacked up that he will be able to make use of those M4C Shermans. Hopefully we get to see a couple of those come in the field. There's still good time for them to do a lot of work. Because, you know, we've just seen Tier 4 go up on the right-hand side there. And with Breakthrough, I mean, really, what else are we going to see right now? The M4C Shermans will actually have a really good time period where they can be effective. So it's not over yet. I don't think it's over yet, Hans.
Yeah, I think if the M4C Shermans manage to get round, quickly take up the flak half track, where all the AT guns. So one AT gun on the far right-hand side. Other one is in base, not doing anything. If the M4C Sherman hits now, and manages to take out a key unit, then yeah, definitely Talisman's still definitely in this. But all these AT guns are out of position right now.
It's a nice preemptive smoke from Fredbrik there. Clearly he knows what's coming.
He knows it's coming. AT guns heading around to deal with this.
Oh, look at him chase that. He really is going all in for that. And he's going to take an engine damage because of it. Is it worth it though, really? Because now he's got to get out and try and hit the Raketten on the way. Raketten looks like it's going to go for a block, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, he actually has decided to block it. Really, was that worth it for the flak half-track? Talisman, what's going on here? He's not going to get away with that. No way. Raketten's going to take that shot. That's the end of the M4C. What a waste. Why would you waste in that position? Talisman's going to be regretting that so hard.
Yeah, it's a shame. Like he had to kill that half track and get out of there without losing anything. He didn't need to. He could have just taken a shot and then backed away and tried again later on. I mean, he's got enough fuel to afford another M4C Sherman.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been better if he'd had 2, though. I mean, he doesn't have Tier 4 in the field, so, you know, he doesn't have that additional, of course, you know, with the Tier 4 now allows you to call in the M4C Shermans a little bit quicker. So he's got that longer dispatch time at the moment. It's still got a minute left before he can call in another one. And, I mean, that just wasn't worth it by any stretch of the imagination. I can't justify that in any way. What a mistake. At this time, he's just allowed Fredbrik to get stronger and stronger, ever closer to potentially getting a Panther on the field.
Dishka has been flanked by Talisman, but he's just going to use sprint and get out of the way. The get out of jail free card maneuver, as I like to call it. Nice league shot there. 3-man Volk squad. Not overextended here. 2 conscripts might be able to get on its retreat path. Might be a time
Looks
for
like I don't think Fredbrik's seen it. I don't think he's seen it at all. 1 squad remaining. Got to run through the middle of them. High DPS coming in. There we go. Dead immediately. So a nice wipe there. And these are all really, really important right now. M4C Sherman's available again, and it's just coming on the field straight away.
Still think Talisman has a chance here. Panzer 4 in production.
He definitely, if he's building a Panzer 4, then he definitely has a chance.
Yeah.
You know, I actually think the M4C Sherman here, I'll be interested to see if Fredbrik decides to cancel that build and go in with something else. Because that's a teching issue, I think. Oh, and another wipe. Look, Dishka's wiped.
Okay,
look at the tables turn.
So what's that? That's a Volk squad down, Vet 3-1, and there's the Dishka. So the enemy, the Oak enemy player no longer has any form of MG.
I'm actually these kind of games unnerve me because this was a dead win for Fredbrik like a couple of minutes ago, and then even then Talisman threw, but now he's found a way to come back. This is the beauty of this game. You may call it ugly, or I think it's beautiful, is the fact that you know, these things just constantly happen. There's loads of RNG. You only need to get a couple of really nice moments where you can pick opportunities against your opponent, and there we go. With the Panzer IV on the field now, I think the M4Cs are going to have a nice little run against this unit.
Needs his own AT gun though. That's the only swinging factor here for Fredbrik, as Fredbrik has double AT guns and Talisman has none.
No, and of course the fuel is going to start getting capped now from the Talisman. He's going to start capping Axis fuel, which means these M4C Shermans can start massing up, which I hope we get to see, to be honest, because Talisman, you know, he's playing this the right way now. He's got to seize that window of opportunity.
Just trying to think what's the next play.
Well, here we go. Look, M4C Sherman probably going to let at least one shot against the Panzer IV. We may get the 18 aid, which does go in from the conscripts, which is fantastic. Nice, this is the M4C Sherman's time to go in, and everything we've just been talking about is about to get realized. It's only going to take one more shot. M4C Sherman gets main engine gun destroyed, and another turn of the table events there. Is it going to get away? Oh my god, how lucky.
Wow. Damn.
Oh, I can't believe
that. Too close to call there. I was worried. But Talisman can call on another M4C Sherman he has. If he quickly sends this round the back, he knows where the AT guns are. One's been treated and the other one is right in the front of the left-hand side of the field. Will this M4C Sherman rush in?
I don't know. I think rushing in is going to be very, very risky, given that he already had a successful engagement. He tried to run in with the conscripts to get that 18 aid off. Suddenly, this game has become very, very interesting. Like, Fredbrik has no chance to really tech to anything outside of this Panzer IV. This has to survive, otherwise he's in a really, really bad spot. 1M4C is pushing the field. This is so fragile.
Crosses that wreck, which is good, because that gets rid of any kind of salvage that could be had by the by Fredbrik. I'd like to see those conscripts at base repairing that M4C while getting reinforced. Might as well utilise it.
Needs to make use of the conscript repair kits, actually, because he's got two of the Shermans that are now engine damaged. At least the Panzer IV is also in a position where it's not in the field to engage, but of course Stern Pioneers with the Minesweeper upgrade repairing very, very quickly right now, and absolutely essential that he gets these M4C Shermans rocking up the window of opportunity that they currently have on the field, because it isn't going to last forever.
Yeah. If Fredbrik's given some time to get himself like a Jagdpanzer and some more mines down, I think it'd be incredibly difficult for Talisman to be able to break forward. I don't like how Fredbrik has got both of his AT guns in the exact same location. I do kind of Captain Price-esque strategies.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I guess at least if you do unload that first shot, you know that you've removed that tank entirely from the game. Obviously Sherman taking a long route just in case there's any mines there, I assume, and it's a good strategy to make sure that VP doesn't get capped. Things are still relatively even on the VP front at the moment, so there's still plenty of time in this game. I personally think that goes into the hands of Fredbrik, because he's going to have a lot more time to potentially bring out another piece of Axis armor that will make things difficult for the M4Cs.
Okay, bad spot for this double Vettish going to be in here. 3 men down. Mr. Sherman misses its shot.
One of the big things here. We have got a fresh one. I mean, one of the things that's interesting here, like, there's no indirect fire options for Talisman whatsoever. Some of the AT guns are in a really good spot, like protected by the Panzer IV and the Volksgrenadiers. Like, it's very, very difficult for conscripts to penetrate that. So the M4Cs are like kind of restrained to the outsides of the map. It's going to give Fredbrik loads of time to sort the situation out.
Yeah, if he figures out how to lock down a mid and the left-hand side, or mid and right, I think the mid and left would be better for him to be able to hold it easier. Nicholas Sherman pushes away a bit, 3 pounds of Fusilier.
Yeah, he's working those well, actually, one on either side. I wonder where he's going with it, though, because I mean, he has the fuel to tech up. I wonder if it's actually worth at any point him just teching up rather relying solely on the M4C Shermans. Like a Katusha would be great, right? Because you could clear out the AT guns and then use the M4C Shermans in conjunction with that.
Indeed, but wouldn't he have to build tier 3 and tier 4?
He'd have to be tier 3 and 4, yeah. But I mean, 2 M4C Shermans, he's got that window of opportunity. He's got double fuel. I think he could do it. It's just whether you're prepared to take that risk.
At the time he does that, I think he'll Fredbrik will definitely have a vehicle out of himself. I mean, he's almost at 50 fuel. I don't know. I think maybe making him just keep going with the M4C Shermans and just finding that weak spot and then just going for it. Like finding like this gun out of position and pushing for it. Because right now, that one this gun's alone.
It's so all or nothing though in its mentality, because you really do just go in and stand the chance to lose everything. But he's making it work. I'm glad to see that he's playing it constructively. M4C Sherman dealing some damage there to the MG. Should be able to decrew that. Yes, he does. Will he get the steal back?
Does.
Yeah,
nice
MG
steal.
34.
Anything tonight. Fredbrik is MG. Ooh. Huge shot there. M4C Sherman up in the north is chasing down a Vet 3, or is that a Vet 4? Panzer Fusilier this one. Might get the wipe from retreat here, but it's lucky he does. That's a huge pickup there for Talisman. Panzer 4 though coming in from the left flank. Engine damage, Racket moving up at the same time. This M4C Sherman's in trouble, but we have a third M4C Sherman out as well.
It's a trap, Hans. It's a trap because, of course, there is an M4C Sherman fresh on the field. And the Panzer IV has only just realised that.
Why isn't the other M4C Sherman from in the mid coming over to give assistance here?
Your guess is as good as mine. Oh God, what a brutal game this is turning into right now. Panzer Fusiliers get engine damage on another one. Raketten still has line of sight. Another shot could come in to take down that last one. It's down.
Oh no.
Gosh, this absolutely brutal. The M4Cs, I'm just not 100% sure they're working quite in the way that he wants them to.
Meanwhile, his other M4C Sherman just sat on the left doing nothing. It could have been the absolute pivotal unit to come and flank there and help finish off the Panzer IV, but now it's looking more even.
What do you think about... I mean, we don't have mechanized regiment on the field right now. I guess the options are either go for maybe a Panther, another Panzer IV, or do you think he would ever go Jagdtiger?
Jagdtiger.
Can you imagine the Jagdtiger on this map? Like,
it would be good. Quite nice, but I would probably not go for that. I'd probably just go for a Panther and just work with what I have. Because these two AT guns are really nice. Vet 2 Panzer IV now. I mean, Talisman does have the map control, but I'd like to see Fredbrik consolidate territory more. He needs to make sure he focuses mid and left and not over this right-hand side. His axis is so difficult to try and control this right side.
We do have repairs now completed. Vet 2 Sherman there. One in the mid, and as you say, still really not doing anything. See a nice incendiary grenade on the conscript's left, instantly responded to by Talisman there. Now we have rear armor on the Panzer IV from the Vet 2 M4C Sherman. It's got a couple of pretty good shots off. Not going to chase it though. I mean, he's really not really planning on chasing anything. It's odd. At the very least, he's going to get that triple cap, Hans. And I think actually with the Dishka on that side, on the right, he can actually get it in the building and have a very, very good protective stance of that VP there.
Double AT guns from Fredbrik moving to the mid to deal with this M4C Sherman. Might do some damage, but here we go. Here comes the first volley. Talisman reacting a little bit slowly there. Probably going to go down about 50% health, 60% health there. Gets away. Just reverse the base and get his conscripts to repair that while they reinforce. Other M4C Sherman, Vet 2. About 40% of the way left to go for Vet 3. And as we know, M40 Shermans of Vet 3 are rapid fire and absolutely lethal. Plane crashes off.
There's the Panther. So this is an interesting one because Panther and the Vet 2 Panzer IV are going to do very, very well, I think, against the M4C Shermans. It's not got that flexibility, he has to push through. There's no AT guns on the field, so when these puppies roll in, it's going to be a difficult one to hold off with just the M4C Shermans and Dishkas. I don't think we've even seen that many mines down either, which is going to be really, really difficult.
We need a Soviet Ziz gun. I think that's what Talisman next build should be.
I honestly would have loved to have seen Tier 4 go down here. I think there would have been some really good options for gameplay. But it hasn't happened, and I don't think it's going to happen now, so it really comes down to Talisman's micro.
Vet 3 conscript might go down on the left-hand side. Talisman's not watching it, I don't think. Oh, he does. Get away. Here comes the Panther on the left flank, in the mid. Not really going to do much there against those conscripts. Not sure why Talisman throws away an AT grenade on that Panther.
I wonder if he's just weakening it so that he maybe has the potential of getting a second one. Got another M4C Sherman on the field. Panzer IV trying to remove the Dishka from the building on the right. It's all kind of happening in this moment right now.
Very low.
It is indeed. There's the M4C Sherman coming in to help.
Why did it go around the right side? It should have gone down south and left to hit the rear armor a bit, but we got...
I mean, he's still doing very, very well with the territory right now. You've got an M4C Sherman pretty much on every point on the map. So Axis are going to have to push like in all one direction, I think. Otherwise, Talisman's got great control on all the VPs, which is fantastic to see.
Dishka on the mansion on the right-hand side barely gets out there when a league shot killed the last 3 men on that squad. 2 managed to make it out back to the base. Do we have a Ziz gun and Talisman just can't afford anything right now. He's bleeding a lot.
Oh, this could be dangerous. This could be really dangerous. Conscripts are very, very close to the Panther. Could get the 18-8 off. Penetrating shot for the M4C Sherman is going to force it back just a little bit. It's a good rearrangement of the Raketten as well.
MG34 is going to get attacked by this Panzer IV. Panzer IV is stuck on target vehicles though, so it's not going to fire on that Panzer IV. I think he's forgotten about it. He struggled Blitzkrieg instead. I think that was a misclick. Yeah. I think that was yeah, I must have made a mistake there when clicking that, when trying to toggle off the prioritized vehicles.
Oh, dangerous situation
there.
Nearly dangerous situation. 2 M4C Shermans coming in actually around the back of the Panzer IV. This is... Royce Fredbrik just left it there. Oh my god, look at this rear armor shots as well. I can't see this Panzer IV getting out at this point. What happened there?
It's just sticking there. Vet 3 just going to eat the dust, bite the dust. What a waste. Nice pick up from Talisman though. And
wow, yeah,
I think Fredbrik is showing signs of cracking, you know, misclicking with that Panzer IV there and then forgetting about it.
That was a huge mistake. I mean, he needs to keep hold of that armor right now because it's just so much easier for the Soviets to pump out these M4C Shermans. Now they're only up against this Command Panther. Hopefully we get to see as well utilization of some of the munitions. I know he's put so much of it into fuel through the drops, but it would be lovely to see some demos just to tie up a couple of these squads. Panther's chasing down M4C Sherman on the left-hand side. And you see very, very careful gameplay from Talisman. He's been gifted a very, very decent position in the in this series right now. Sorry if I called it a Command Panther, I meant Panthers. I'm so used to seeing special operations these days. The standard Panther doesn't exist to me anymore. So sorry, it's a standard Panther. My mistake.
I don't blame you, I made the same mistake too. Okay, so MG's going back into the right hand side mansion. Talisman wants to make sure he locks down on those VPs. Vet 3 Dishka just going to slaughter this Vet 3 Pioneer. One on the left. We'll finish it off. No, it won't. Is there any unit there? There's another just finish it off and retreat. It does. Vet 3 Pioneer is dead.
I didn't see that, Hans. I couldn't pick where it was.
On the central of the, in the middle of the map where the middle VP is, he just lost it on retreat to Adishka.
Ah, I see. Let's focus in on him. There he is. Well, actually, Fredbrik, despite losing that Panzer IV, is making a pretty good go of this game still. The Panther is actually coming into its own right now, where it's Squad Veteran C1 starting to get a couple of the kills on 8 so far. M4C Sherman's not in a position where they can go and deal with it. And he's going to try and... This is risky, though. Why would you push in so close with this?
He doesn't need to be so aggressive against this Panther right now. Especially when he knows the Panthers like got no repairs. Like the Dirt Sturms just died.
This game has been back and forth constantly, and whilst it looks so good for Talisman with a triple cap, now we're in a position where it looks like Fredbrik is easily on the front foot again. Double ISGs are doing a really good at harassing the manpower of Talisman, but I think we're going to see probably that 4th M4C Sherman in a second. And when that does come in, I wonder if he decides to go for an all-or-nothing dive. It's risky, but I'm waiting for it.
Considering the health of those AT guns, they're both at 3 men. You know, one decent shot on the Raketten on the left will probably wipe it. He does go for the 4th M4C Sherman now. Kind of reminds me of that game against Loveness. You know, like drawing the battle lines and all the kid comes all instead of T-3485s, it's M4C Sherman's coming in.
Yeah, it's all about breaking that line at the moment. There's a huge infantry presence from OKW, but Soviets do have the armor advantage, and the Panther only has to make one slip up. It's low health already. Hans, I can't tell you how much I think Tier 4 would be a good idea right now. I really can't.
Yes, I even just think a mortar would be benefit.
Anything.
Just smoke forward and then just rush all with all the tanks. There are no mines down at all. If he smokes the central position, rushes with all 4 MC Shermans, Fredbrik can't do anything about it. You've only got 30 munitions as well to get a bounce off, so at least 3 of those tanks are going to get through unscathed without an engine damage.
It just seems like absolute madness at this stage. Yeah, this is a tough one. Nice wipe with the Raketten. That's going to give a lot of confidence for the M4C Shermans to go in, and he manages to destroy it as well, which means Fredbrik is going to have to spend manpower to get back on this. Is this the cause for a dive? I don't personally think so. He's going to try and make it anyway.
He's only pushing. It's not good.
No, I think he's sacrificed one. We've got another M4C Sherman on the north that's coming in. This is a big push. He's all or nothing right now, Hans. Absolutely all or nothing. He wants this Panther down immediately.
He's really close to a mine on the right flank. He's going to hit it with the Vet 3 and M4C Sherman. Rounds are bouncing. All the conscripts are getting suppressed by the MG42, 34 in the middle.
Wow, I can't believe he's gone so ballsy with this. He's got to get rear armor hits. When the Panther goes down, though, Fredbrik could bring in another one, so he can't waste too much at this point. There it goes, it's down. Vet 3 M4C Sherman. Can he get it out of there without getting fausted? What a dive! What a dive.
He's getting shot in the rear armor by the flak half track. The flak half, the Schwer Panzer the headquarters. He might even. I think he's going to get around there. He's got engineers as well into the north. So
don't see any mines. What a play, though. Like, what an absolute play. Like, he went straight into dive there. Comes out utterly victorious. Still has 3 M4C Shermans on the field. All of them pretty much safe right now. And he's going to reclaim map control. I mean, it's reckless. It's careless. He stands to lose this game and get kicked out of the tournament, for losing like that. But he took the risk and it paid off.
Be careful with that Vet 3. Dishka's getting flanked here, and the leagues are constantly firing on it. So, in all, that was a very successful engagement for Talisman. He got quite lucky that he only one of those Shermans that engagement after hitting a mine.
You know, I really wasn't expecting Fredbrik to be the one that drops to 100 VPs at this point. I really wasn't.
Looks like this match is going to go the full length.
Yeah, he can still come back though. I mean, like he's
King
at the
Tiger.
resources for an. I don't think he's got the other tier, has he? He hasn't got mechanized up. I don't think he's had mechanized up this game.
That's a good point. Yeah, he'll have to go for mechanized. He's probably going to go for the Jagdtiger, but I think that's just too risky considering there's so many Shermans. There's no mines down. All the mines got detonated in that last. Oh, here we go. Here comes the mines now. But he can't afford any. He can put one down and then maybe one more in like a couple of seconds time. But then he's got to wait for ages.
Panther's the option. He's gone for the Panther, and I think that's sensible. As long as he plays it a little more carefully than what he did, I think the Panther is a very good idea. It's still a relatively even game, although we can have another M4C Sherman called in. Of course, that's exactly what Talisman's going to go for. Relentless.
Conscripts are focusing down the Vet 3 stolen Ziz gun. They might get it. That would be a really nice pickup for Talisman if he manages to get rid of that. It's the last piece of proper AT that Fredbrik actually has on the field at the moment. This league shot, ooh, almost hit the squad. Hopefully Fredbrik pulls back that Vet 3 Ziz gun and gets it healed up, but he can't afford to lose that.
Tense game, really. Triple conscripts going to make their way onto the Volksgrenadiers. Looks like Volksgrenadiers going to hold up a defensive position in this building, but it's going to be very easy for the M4C Sherman to clear that out. Panther hits the field again, so we're going to get round 2 of this engagement. 1 Panther versus 4 M4C Shermans. And we really want to see that German expertise in tanking come into play here.
MG34 is quite bunched up here on the cutoff point. Getting finished off by the Dishka.
Panther's actually taking a little bit of a risk here. It's going to chase, even though there's multiple M4C Shermans in the field. He's going right in for it. He stands to get blocked. This is risky.
He needs to do something like this, though, because, you know, if he doesn't make a play and start wiping these M4C Shermans, he's going to be in trouble. But he needs to go back towards his lines. He's running back in towards another M4C Sherman. It's a Vet 3. It got repaired. Where's the AT guns up? He's trying to move up to support. Talisman's just got to be, Fredbrik's going to be so lucky we don't get in front of penetration here. And they both get front of penetration, and the Panther goes down.
No way. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Fredbrik, that was an overextension, though. I mean, he could just sit that back and play this game carefully. He did not need to lose that game like that. Really, I mean, well played to Talisman for bringing it back from the brink of despair like 2 or 3 times there, but that was a throw in the end, I think, from Fredbrik.
Yeah, not enough mine placement and a bit too overextended with his Raketans to get them killed like that. They should have brought them back to base and healed them up and then gone in again.
Jeez,
it's a shame.
Wow. What a game. What an absolute game. And it looks like we're going to be going into a 2-2 situation. Not the 3-3 that Talisman said he was going to nail Fredbrik by, but now he's actually finding himself in a position where he's really fighting for his place in the tournament still. That's very, very quickly...
I wonder what he's going to play. Who has VP lead?
This is an interesting one. In fact, we'll go to this right now and just have a look at what the situation is. So this is going to be game 5. We'll go over to the battle planner. We'll be able to see what people have won by in terms of VP so far. The actual map rotation is auto-selected, I believe, in game 5. So let's just have a look at that in a second when my game gets back into the menu. By the way, 850 people here watching Company of Heroes 2 on a Sunday, so welcome everybody. If you don't know, I'm Stormless. I'm not Stormless, my name's Danny, but I call myself Stormless. And I'm with Helping Hands here, who's one of the top seeds for this event tournament. He's here spying on people, analysing their strategies from a caster's perspective, so that he can be victorious for our live finals that's going to be in Leicester, which I hope to see loads of you guys there. I know loads of people are going to the finals in Leicester, and it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good fun. Kuza, my name is Stormless. Sometimes my friends call me that, and I like it. It's good fun. Right, let's have a look at the battle planner and have a look what's going on. So this is the game as it's chosen at the moment. It looks like Fredbrik's going to be playing OKW in his final game. Talisman Soviets. The map is going to be Kolodny Firma. First time we've seen this map today. Ooh. This is a really cutthroat map, though. This is a tough one.
It is.
Look at the thing, Hans. You look, OKW. You've got 2 games won as Axis, 450 VPs plus in both games. You've then got 2 wins as Allies, barely scraping comebacks with 150 to 200 VPs. Game 5 is a complete anomaly in my opinion. Like I have no idea how this is going to go. You've got seeds 8, seeds 9 playing each other. It's pretty crazy. It's been a good series.
I expect Talisman to do something different this time around with the Soviet build because he's still gone the 4 conscripts, and each time it's really not worked out well in the early game, and it's been put him on the back foot until he gets Dishkas out and his gun. He was able to do all right then, but then he proceeded to lose both, and that put him behind in that last game. So as long as he keeps his unit preservation on point and prepares for the armor, we might because Fredbrik last game he went for was it flak half track, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so he did something. And the time before that he went Panzer 2. So Talisman doesn't know what kind of strategy Fredbrik's going to do this time because he's seen 2 types now, and so that might actually give Fredbrik the edge because because Talisman's going to be always thinking like, oh, what am I going to be up against?
Well, I mean, it could give Talisman the edge in another way because every game we've seen Talisman play conscripts. Do you think there's a possibility we might see a switch up to that? I mean, I don't know how confident he's going to be playing anything out of that. It's clearly a play style of his that he's very comfortable with, but it hasn't worked. Like the early games have been absolutely catastrophic every time. It's a difficult one, but let's have a look if the next game is running at the moment. I think we had a giveaway that was running, so we'll just do the results of the giveaway. This is Corwin who won the last giveaway, which I believe was possibly Ashes of the Singularity. Yeah, I think that's right. This time we were doing giveaways for 2 Company of Heroes 2 commander codes for you guys to unlock and use in game, and the draw winner for those is going to be the Kyle. I'm going to call him the Kyle. It's Kyle the. You're the first winner, so congratulations. And the second winner is going to be Mike JV58. Congratulations, Mike. You've also won yourself a Company Heroes Commander. Congratulations. Now, I will message you guys if anybody's won anything today. Please just wait. After this stream, I will send you the kind of stock message asking you what you want to pick. Let me know, and then at some point during the week when I manage to get access to this spreadsheet, I will drop you the commander codes that you want. So, all right, let's have a look at game 3. Game 5. Jesus, best of 5. Oh, I can see the game.
Oh,
it's tense. All right, okay. Join the observer party. I'm just gonna do the profile checks, which we always do now. Barton, if you're listening. Fredbrik. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Game 3 is going to start right. I've got to stop calling it Game 3. It's Game 5. GCS is a best of 5 series. I'm not used to it. We're going to go into Game 5. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put over to a wait screen. This is going to be the last game of today, guaranteed, because whichever way it goes, it's going to be the last one. But I'm going to put it over to a wait screen just because, obviously, as you guys probably know, I have been having PC issues lately. And I need to give my PC time just to cool down before we go into the game. Also, I want to go to the bathroom, just grab a drink quickly. So let's do that. Hans, it's game 5 of the day. Thank you very much for helping me cast. Otherwise, I was going to have to do this solo. If you want to grab yourself a beer or something, and we'll enjoy this last game together. No. Come on, Hans. Do some shots, Hans.
No, not anymore. I'm drinking this, whatever this is.
I'm gonna grab a beer for this last game. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy this the way that KOTU is meant to be watched and enjoyed. It's gonna be nice. But guys, we'll see you in 3 or 4 minutes, and then we'll jump straight into the game. Alright guys, game 5 is going to be starting very shortly. Make sure you guys all have drinks and snacks and are ready for a pretty awesome finale to today's games. It's going to be Talisman versus Fredbrik, Soviets versus OKW again. Going to be starting very, very shortly. And because I'm feeling in such a good mood right now, I'm going to open up the raffle one more time for another 2 commander codes. So there's another 2 that we're going to give away. Just to say thanks guys for waiting around for us and just supporting Company of Heroes 2 in general. Couple of minutes to go. Hello everybody and welcome to Game 5 of this incredible series between Talisman and Fredbrik. It's been an awesome day so far and we find ourselves in a pretty brutal situation where either of these 2 amazing players are going to be wiped out of this tournament completely. On the left side of our 3rd map today, Kolodny Firma, Summer Version, we have Fredbrik once again playing as the OKW.
And over here we have Talisman, who's playing the Soviets. So sorry, I've got a bit of an emergency monk finger.
No worries. I'll solo cast till you're ready. But of course, yes, we do have Talisman playing as the Soviets from the east side. Now, this is one of those maps that is going to be very, very brutal for both players. 3 narrow cutoffs, 1 through the center, 1 on the right side, and 1 to the south. And I really wonder if Talisman's 4 conscript build is going to perform well here. That being said, I wouldn't have picked Kubel myself to cap around this map. But it's going to be a very, very interesting game. And remember, of course, one of these players will be completely wiped out of the tournament today, no matter how this goes. Very surprised to see Talisman. He's gone straight in with Lend-Lease. Probably going to go for that 4 conscript build again, which is really surprising because he hasn't been diverse at all in his builds. When he plays Soviets, you can near enough tell every time exactly what he's going to go for. The fact that he's jumped straight into Lend-Lease is probably something that Fredbrik is predicting right now, and will put provisions in place for to make sure that there's negated at most stages of its CPs. Of course, Fredbrik's going to go over to the right-hand side of the map here. This is kind of Axis's side. And we'll probably expect that early on he might want to try and get tier 4 to try and lock down this strategic point. Already got a very nice sandbag here. And the direction of this is important because at least it means that Talisman can't take cover behind here. Because of course his units will hang either side of the sandbag. So it's a very nice directional cover. Probably could have been built a little bit closer to the point there. But making already arrangements just in case Talisman does push that far up into the map. No massive early pushes so far. I mean, when you get a Game 5 situation like this, one of the things you really see from the players is that they're not making those big pushes. Like, this actually means something to these players, which is really nice to see. You know, they're treating it with respect, both going for their respective sides. Nothing dangerous has been done. They're going to make sure that they build up that early game of manpower, make sure that they're really secure in their teching. Got some hilarious wide... You backhands?
Yes, apologies about that. My uncle just cut his finger and almost severed it on the hedgerow trimmer. So yeah, that happened. Just trying to decide now if he wants to go to the hospital or not. So sorry about that.
No worries. If you need to go, just let me know. It's not a problem.
I think it's okay. He said it was fine.
But yeah, nothing significant happening in the early game here so far. We're seeing a little bit of diversity in Talisman's build. This time he's going to go for the second engineer squad, rather than what previously I believed would have been a Dushka. So he's changing things up a little bit. And Fredbrik caught a little bit off guard here. Stern Pioneers are pushing right up the east side of the map. And they're a little bit caught off by the conscripts right now. In fact, there's 2 squads there with Flamer. So he needs to be careful along the retreat here that he doesn't go too far.
Some Pioneers getting forced to retreat here. If Talisman jumps out around the back here of this church, he might be able to take out the squad if he's quick. He is doing so. Might be able to pick the squad up across negative cover road here. He needs to be quick. No, he's not thinking about going for the squad. He's going for the cutoff instead. That, I think, is a missed opportunity. That would have been a huge pickup for Talisman if he managed to take out the Stern Pioneer squad.
The cutoff isn't really going to do that much. The squad wipe would have been 300 manpower down the sink for Fredbrik. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Missed opportunity there for the sake of a little bit of fuel. But I mean, this is Fredbrik's going for 4 Volksgrenadiers. He's got 4 Volksgrenadiers with the Kubel, so he's ultimately prepared to deal with the 4 conscript strategy. He knows it's coming. He predicted it perfectly because Talisman just hasn't changed at all anytime he's played Soviets today.
Yeah, it's maybe a bit predictable. So, and again, District Commander, Lindley's commander selected. Another squad, very weak. Bolt Grenadier elite running across the road. Flamethrowers might be able to pick him up if he's lucky.
Yeah, there we go.
First, is that the first wipe of today?
That was the first wipe, yeah. First wipe goes to Fredbrik. I mean, at least now he's back to what you would normally call like a normal OKW build. It doesn't seem like a huge loss specifically. But of course, like 250 manpower gone. He really needed that. He needs to find a way to deal with his flamethrower, though. He definitely needs to clear that out of the center.
He's going to push this poor combat engineer back to base. I wonder if we've got any tech. No tech. Got healing now in Tasman's base. And we do have the truck about going up. What's he going to make?
Oh, you know what he's going to make. You know exactly what he's going to make. It's probably the thing that has been most picked today by OKW, which is the mechanized. Only once we saw the battle grouper, but I think Fredbrik's perfectly content with using his munitions to drop those medical supplies. Great use of the Kubel. Sorry, great use of the Kubel on the left-hand side, capping the VPs, trying to get that triple cap on as early as possible in this game. Going to be really difficult, and even the Volksgrenadiers on the east there, just trying to do these huge decaps. Very risky though, because of course he does have to retreat past past units that are in the center. So always a risk.
Unfortunately, that Volksgrenadier retreated around the north and not around the road next to that conscript squad. Triple cap won't be in effect for long because we have another conscript squad in the far north that's just capping that. Volksgrenadier is going to come over here and challenge that. I'm
a little worried about this. Sorry, Hans. I'm a little worried about this Kubel south. I mean, like, this is easily flanked now, and it's low health already. This is a very unwise idea to keep it so pushed when it's so easy. And we're going to see the conscripts coming now. How's Fredbrik going to deal with this in getting it out against the conscripts?
Well, if you had an 80 grenade, we'd have been able to have that. But unfortunately, Talisman has not tech grenades yet. And that Kubel was going to get out of there scot-free. Another potential wipe that could have been had if Talisman had teched up sooner. Dishka now residing in the church building. Middle VP under cap. Oh, the territory's been disconnected as well by Talisman. Good play there with the conscripts around the north left. Cutting off the fuel and munitions income.
I left it a little bit late though. Yeah, I mean, Panzer II's already out, so... I mean, sorry, not out, it's already in the build, so it's not going to be a situation where the decap's made that much difference, which is a shame, really, because he did have one earlier on, but he hasn't managed to stunt the growth. I mean, maybe a minute, managed to get the Lukes out a minute later than what we've seen in any of the other series, games in this series earlier on. So it hasn't been the biggest of differences, totally. But the interesting thing for me is, like, what will Fredbrik go as a commander selection? I mean, he doesn't have special operations in this time, which is what we saw him use, I think, once or twice in the earlier games. You know, now he's, I think, swapped that out for elite armor.
Has he now? Oh yes, that's there. I mean, I can imagine a Sturm T doing quite well on the map, because since all the shot blockers that it can hide behind.
Yeah.
We do have a tier 3 build instead of going for a Ziz gun from Talisman. He feels, you know, he has got enough fuel to be able to call on the T-70 or the T-76 where we sees fit. Conscripts up in the north, though, probably get wiped and retreat here if the Panzer II and the rest of these units decide to give chase.
Did you see that cheeky little trap?
Didn't even need to do that. There's a dead squad.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie, I'll probably be trying that myself, to be honest, this week, but...
So I think that's 2 wipes now, one from each player. 1 Volk dead, 1 Conscript dead.
Yep, things looking very, very even, and actually Fredbrik's starting to pull ahead a little bit in terms of KD at the moment, but you know, there's still a lot of engagements happening on early game. We haven't seen any of those units come on the field yet that are really excessive in controlling squads on the field. The Lukes is probably going to pick up a nice squad here with the conscripts, but in fact he actually blocks the Volksgrenadiers on negative cover. Oh no, that's a mistake. I mean, they may have stood a chance of getting away if the Lukes had got in front of the retreating unit. Instead blocks it and pretty much ensuring it gets killed. I mean, I've got to say, and you referenced it in the last game, Fredbrik has not performed well over time. Like, Talisman has become, you know, he's been stable. He's kind of held himself and his composure throughout the games. He hasn't really suffered from tiredness. Whereas, like, Fredbrik has. Like, you can tell Fredbrik's game is not as good as what it was 2 games ago.
On the piercing rounds here. Looks like Fredbrik has noticed this. Or maybe not, he's going back in again. Triple wagon, anti-grenades still haven't been teched. The script wagon, almost teched. Can do it. Oh, he could have Uraded and the grenade there. So this opportunity then. Probably too busy trying to chase down these this Volk squad running through the mid. Mine going down by Talisman outside his cutoff. That's quite a nice move there. Trying to utilise his munitions. Raketten just on the fringe of the Raketten's arc there, manages to get the kill. Sorry, the shot off.
Oh, that was a very, very cheeky ground attack, trying to catch the T-70 there. It didn't quite work, but
so close.
I really like the initiative.
Trying to preemptively fire the Raketten and yeah. Very, very close.
I mean, this has always been one of those maps for OKW. I always feel like, you know, allies can really box them in the early game, really keep them on their toes. Nice mine there, gets the suppression, stops the house cap from Soviets.
Yeah.
Lovely little mine. It's one of those games like where Axis just feels really bottled up on the right-hand side. Like, you spend a lot of time really trying to control that and kind of like iron out any of the allied units that are around there. But I think actually Fredbrik's got a pretty good build for this. He's got the Panzer II Lukes to defend against the infantry, double Rakettens, so that T-70 is going to be a little bit ineffective. And hopefully we get to see that tier truck come in with a tier 4 that maybe hangs over the strategic point. I just want to say, Mr. Underscores just said, it sounds like Hans is a couple of seconds behind Stormer's stream again. Just to let you know, in observer mode, the host is always 2 seconds ahead of anybody else that's in the party. So that is a natural thing that happens in the observer mode, and it's not something that can be changed.
Just relic things.
Oh, Kubel down to the Dushka. We're trying to see a little bit of a flank from the Stern Pioneers. I'm a bit worried that Right, yeah, we do.
A grenade. Vault gets cleaned up in the south as well due to a mine and a T-70 combo. There's 2 immediate units lost. There's a Kuba and another Vault down, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw the Volk's Grenadier go down actually, but
I think it was a fresh unit he built.
oh,
Right near that mine. Oh, another conscript going to go down here. He's not going to get it. He needs to attack ground through the building. He's not even going to try. But Talisman is doing it though, and he's going to probably get the life of the stones here. If he gets one more shot off. Oh, close.
oh my gosh, Raketin hit its first shot. Not even an easy shot.
Yeah.
That's incredible to see.
On the left-hand side, we have flares being put down by Talisman, which are going to make these Volks easier to deal with. Becoming incendiary grenade, easily dodged by Talisman. He's going to back away and continue burning with his own source of pyrotechnics.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how well I think Lend-Lease will perform here. Fredbrik with the double Raketins. He has been laying mines, and I really like how that works, because if the M4C Shermans do get triggered like with mines, and the Raketins can come up to counter it, like it's going to really negate the strategy entirely. Nice use of the Raketins all over as well. He's trying to get shots again. This time isn't successful. But I mean, it really comes down to Fredbrik. Fredbrik, I assume, is either going to go for Scavenge Doctrine for the Ostwind, or he'll go for the Sturmtiger. And I actually think Sturmtiger would end up a pretty good decision here if it was some risk.
Did you just see what that happened there?
No.
The unfortunately, this is a really annoying thing which I don't understand when you play with the Lend-Lease strategy. You call on the Allied air supply drop, but the plane comes in from the direction of the enemy base. Now against OKW, the flaks have a chance to knock it down, and that is exactly what happened. The plane gets knocked down and wasted 100 munitions and didn't get any of the fuel that was to be dropped.
Mm. Annoying, yet slightly balanced.
Yeah, I don't know why the plane were coming from the enemy base direction, though. Could come from your base, I think. Who knows? Double Dishkas on this Portable Raketin's going to get it out of there. T-70 running back to base from some repairs.
Radio crews are on standby to decipher
any kind of check
from enemy armor. Crews are now
What's that
authorized
to?
to make emergency repairs.
Feels like it's been ages since we've seen it.
It is on the north. Actually, Elite Armored was picked in the end.
Oh yeah,
which is yeah, interesting decision. The good thing is, 11 CPs. He may decide not to tech at all.
Oh, if we get to see Sturmtiger, I'm going to be happy. I never see Sturmtiger.
Yeah, it will be nice to see. It'll be nice to see that in the field. Especially that just those squad wipes, will be so lethal over time. If he can just defend against the tanks, there's nothing to stop him just, pinning individual squads with that. And as you said, being able to fire through the hedgerow, like nothing's safe whilst he can get vision on things. Absolutely nothing's safe.
Okay, we like for the first time we see Talisman picking a mortar in this series. I think this is a good choice because he knows that the MG has the enemy MG likes to stay in the house of this. He's just going to destroy the house and deny that ever from being occupied again. And he also is up against a couple of Raketins, so any support units and stuff that would be very useful. More flares and more mines being planted on the left-hand side. Got a mine next to the VP, mine next to the munitions side, and no, 2 mines near the munitions south side. Yes, so Talisman's making use of all his munitions. More flares going down on that left-hand side point.
Yeah, he's really solidifying his position over there, which is good. It's going to be difficult for Talisman to break in this early game. The mortar there is mean, whilst it's good, I don't really see what... I mean, there's so much mobile infantry on the field. Like, if Fredbrik keeps moving, I don't really see why the mortar would be so efficient in this position. Got medical supplies dropped there for the Volksgrenadiers. Currently fighting on the field. I like that he's dropped the medical supplies on the field. You normally see it on bases of retreat. Here do we see the 18-aids coming in. Luke's caught a little bit out of position. 18-aid does come off.
Just connects, quite nice there. Stem's going to rush up north to try and repair the Panzer II. Raketten connects again like a max range on that poor T-70. They're probably going to have to get forced to retreat, but no. Volksgrenadiers lobbing incendiary grenade to try and push back those flamethrower engineers from the Talisman, and nothing dies. Just yet. Tier 4 being built by Talisman in his base.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I mean, the Tier 4, as we spoke about earlier, Tier 4 allows the dispatch time of the M4C Sherman to be decreased. So he'll be able to get more of those on the field. In kind of quick succession, which is interesting. I really like that, to be honest. I mean, I think it's a really nice addition to a commander where it allows you to do that. But there's the M4C Sherman. It's out already at 10 CP, and thanks to Tier 4, we've only got just over a minute rather than the 2 minutes to recharge the time.
This is what I was talking about last game. You see here, Fredbrik's got a Raketten that's bunched up together, really weak. One shot on that will wipe it, and that's like his only Raketten on that right hand side of the field, so he's got to be really careful he doesn't lose that, because then that M4C Sherman's got free reign on that right side and might even pick up that Panzer II. We do have another Raketten coming over finally to the right hand side. AC grenade going off on the mid area and damaging the engine of a Fredbrik's brand new supply truck.
He hasn't even noticed that at this point. I don't know what he's looking at here. He needs to get his units back so he can defend it with the base defenses. Very, very risky there, but I mean, Talisman making great pushes up through the middle. I mean, Fredbrik is way too occupied on that right side of the map right now. Raketten is uncloaked in the middle and comes under fire from the Dishka. Hunter 2 looks into support, but doesn't want to get too close to that AT gun. Now we see M4C Sherman has taken down the Raketten. Now we've got MG34 on the retreat. Raketten's going to get recrewed by the engineers, and things are slowly starting to fall apart from Fredbrik. I mean, I noticed...
It's dead.
I've got to say, like, I noticed a much more positive style of gameplay from Talisman now, because you know some of the early games that we saw from him have been actually quite weak in terms of what he was doing. But actually, you know, now he's playing things a lot more carefully. You know, he's handled the micro engagements very well. And as you said, like, I'm really appreciative that he's actually decided to build indirect fire here just to help him out.
All those poor on the left-hand side, those Volksgrenadiers immediately going to get forced back due to a slam of flares.
3 triple flares.
Yeah.
Command half-track has been permanently...
Not sure why he doesn't try and finish off the other Raketten he managed to decrew with the Dishka in the church. Got plenty of time to do so, and probably tonight being recapped. I mean, Fredbrik is rebuying a Raketten and not actually picking up that one that's on the floor there. Maybe he's forgotten about it. Mine detonates on a conscript, killing 2 models. Another M4C Sherman going around the south, probably going for a really wide flank. Maybe even trying to attack the base. That'd be a nice little move there.
I'd be very interested to see that Hans. It's here. The Sturmtiger is here.
It's on the field.
I would
covered in blood.
I would not have expected to see this in a 5th game. Like, I mean, I think it's going to be good, and I appreciate seeing it, but I hope Fredbrik knows exactly what he's planning to do with this, because with only the 1 Raketten on the field against 2 M4C Shermans, this could go very, very wrong.
Might fire on that church. He might fire on that building there and try and take out that squad that's hiding in the building. Here we go. It's going to fire. That is 1 dead conscript. Here comes the shell. Oh.
Never gets old. Never gets old.
Absolutely destroying all those conscripts inside that poorhouse.
So, I mean, now that's on the field, obviously he's going to go back, get that reloaded. And
Panzer II's been forgotten about. Got to run away as fast as it can.
I think he was trying to put the cloak on there. Oh no, Sturmtiger's reloading. I wonder if it'll get found.
Oh! hit the mine. One more shot, we'll do it. We'll finish it off even from the Panzer II. We'll finish off that poor Raquette, the 40 something, but he managed to get away. Other one gets hit by a mine. How many seconds on that? 30 seconds left remaining on the repair time of that, sorry, the reload time of the Sturmtiger.
I don't know if he's got time to make this work, if I'm totally honest. The Raketin isn't around. There is one in the middle he can pick up, but I don't think he'll be able to catch the M4C Sherman. Dishka's no longer in the church, so he does have the ability to at least push up a little bit. But I think he's going to have to give up on that idea.
8 seconds. Don't worry, Fredbrik has decided to put his MG in that really weak house in the centre. One shot from anything will probably destroy that. Mortar's now firing on that house, I think. Probably going to lose it. Oh, so close.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to get out. I mean, even if he reverses his Sturmtiger close to the building, he could crush it. So he needs to be really, really careful about how he does that next. Yeah, M4C Sherman's in there. Surely he gets the MG out. Yes, he does. Are we going to see a counter-fire with that Sturmtiger?
So unlucky there from Talisman. Like, he had like 3 shots on that building. One from a mortar, 2 from the M4C Sherman. It doesn't collapse the building. It should normally do. Just unlucky, I think, there. More mines being planted by Fredbrik. I like it. But yeah, his territory, his map control is really poor right now.
I mean, at least he's got the 1 VP. I think that's really, really important to him. We see flares going down. I think that's just come off of the Soviet mortar. And that's going to be scouting the position of the Sturmtiger, the position of where everything else is. And we've got a Luke's here on the right, which may reconsider where it's going once it knows the M4C Sherman is there.
I don't think he's spotting it.
No. I think he maybe saw it eventually.
What's the defensive mines here from Fredbrik? I like this. He's maybe trying to bait in here. Like, he's going to fire off his Sturmtiger and try and pretend like it's exposed, pull back, and then he's going to hit these 2 defensive mines.
I do think if you're going to build the Sturmtiger first, like, you should do that, because otherwise it's so difficult. I've got to say, for those people that are watching, maybe there are some people here that maybe haven't seen this game, like the sound of the Sturmtiger, like, this is like recorded all from real vehicles. Just listen to the sound effects in this game.
My Sturmtiger says Kappa on it.
Oh, this is so beautiful. I mean, it was one of the things that Relic really did here, was put like actually distinguishable sounds for vehicles in the game, and it works so fantastically. Here's a Sturmtiger shot. Is it going to hit? Oh, well predicted. Immobilized M4C Sherman.
Shot. That was a very good prediction shot there from Fredbrik, and he manages to actually take out one of the M4C Shermans there. If he keeps this up, he's definitely, it's in the run for this game and this series. Meanwhile, 2 M4C Shermans on the left flank. I'm going to try and push in here. Going to utilise the time that the Sturmtiger is reloading to make a push. Also moving in is the Zizgun in the centre. Panzer II is going to go down with 1 more shot. He does.
Yeah, Talisman is looking to seek a little bit of revenge. I'm surprised the Panzer II, I mean, like, Panzer II here has been neglected many, many times.
Yeah.
Really, really unfortunately. I mean, it's about time that Talisman really got it, to be honest.
An anti-tank gun has taken the field.
And Fredbrik's building his 3rd Raketin now. The 3rd Raketin, so he's clearly anticipating this M4C Sherman spam that is inevitably coming in.
Wondering why he doesn't try and go for something like a Puma, and try and combine it in the works with some Raketins, because Puma, like I said earlier in the series, is it's definitely a match for these M4C Shermans, and it can kite them quite effectively, and it's a lot more mobile.
I don't know, I mean, I guess how he treated the Panzer II in this game so far, it might not be a great idea. I mean, he's kind of left it out in the open quite a few times. Yeah. I'd be a little bit worried and tense if he built
maybe a Stuka, and too much indirect fire, I think. Yeah, well, the 3rd Raketin is probably a good play. He hasn't got any more munitions, but I would like to see some more mines down if possible. Try and salvage up that M4C Sherman wreck. Keep that VP. I mean, he's low on VPs as well.
Oh, Sturmtiger a little bit out of position there. Looks like M4C Shermans may come in for this. Is it a bait by any means? No, actually he's going to try and take the shot through the church. Whoa, what a shot!
Oh, damn! That did some nice damage there. Almost got a wipe on those two other squads, but doesn't really wipe the mortar. One of the Raquettes need to turn around quickly.
Why is he reloading there? That's crazy. That's madness.
Oh, no. Very slow to turn around with the other Raquette here.
Oh, wow. Great little barrage there from the Zisgun as well. Wiping the Raquette and it's capping the mid. This is not looking good for Fredbrik right now. The M4C Sherman gets involved in the center again. Conscripts are going to burst in. They may be able to recap the Raketten, but they're probably going to get a triple cap. With only 121 VPs left at the moment, a triple cap would mean 2 minutes left for Fredbrik to try and find a way to turn the situation around. Still has the fuel for another Sturmtiger, but it's a very, very risky strategy to go straight in with another one of those.
Making use of his T-70 capping up with it in the far north as well. Raketten gets deep crewed again. Penal Battalion from Talisman. Okay. I don't know what he's doing there. Interesting back tech.
I would have thought some kind of vehicle would have been interesting.
I would have expected just more M4C Sherman spam, but I guess he feels like maybe he wants to satchel charge some things.
T70 doing some good recon mode capping there. This is a difficult situation for Fredbrik. I mean, he's got to be feeling a little bit under pressure right now. It's looking very, very much so that it might be Talisman going through to the next stage of this tournament, but there's still time for him to turn it around. Just enough time, but it's closing down every single second. Triple cap, we're about to come under 1 minute left. And what a series, what an absolute series it's been. Like, it's been probably one of the most vicious series I've seen. Like, both players have stomped each other, both players have had, like, you know, comeback games. And this fifth game has actually, I think, been relatively good and even in a lot of terms. But Talisman is pulling forward. We're seeing the third M4C Sherman. I think it's the third one that he's built. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. I mean, he's lost... there's two carcasses of M4Cs. So his fourth one is now... yeah, that's his fourth one. It's very rare that you actually get to see all these wrecks on the field that aren't actually destroyed yet. You know what I mean? Like, you got the Sturmtiger and the two M4C Shermans in the center.
Capping this 1 VP may slow it for like a tiny portion of time, but with 33, I don't really see now.
Oh, here comes a crush.
Oh,
bolts go down. Raketten too slow to react. I think it's GG here, guys.
Yep, I think that's going to be quite comfortably it. Sturmtiger's called in, but I don't really see what good it's going to be now. I don't really see any hope for Fredbrik anymore. Looks like that's going to be a GG. What a great series. Talisman and Fredbrik. Talisman confidently claiming 100% nailed down, guaranteed that he was going to 3-0 Fredbrik today.
Well, actually, it might not be over just yet. An OMG Sturmtiger shot might actually win this.
He could get both.
He might get both here. He's going in. He's firing. He destroys both M4C Shermans with the brand new Sturmtiger, and there are no more M4C Shermans on the field. What a crazy move there by Fredbrik, but he's still being drained. He's got 10 VPs left. No units are nearby to capture any of the others. It's still GG, but what a nice way to go out of the tournament.
Yeah.
Fredbrik with a really nice finishing blow to take out those Shermans.
Why not go out in style? There we go. Sturmtiger abandoned as well. Talisman's going to recruit it. What a finish to this series. Like, I couldn't think of a more perfect way to close this series out. Absolutely hilarious. Talisman goes into the next round now with a Sturmtiger in addition to his arsenal. GG, great series. Well played.
Right as the end it ends, you can zoom in on the conscript about calling out the arse end of the Sturmtiger.
Whew. crazy. I mean, Elite Armored was always going to be a risk in a 5th game, right? Like, I'm surprised he didn't have like special operations in there, you know, so something like that for Kolodny. I mean, I think he made the right choice with what he had, but a tough one. And
yes.
you know, I come out of this series not 100% sure if Talisman deserved it, you know?
He made lots of mistakes in the early game, and like he kept on trying with this conscript strat. Maybe on some certain maps he needs to rethink his strategy through because it's definitely not working, or the way he's playing his strategy, or I mean his build order isn't working. The way he's sending his units. I mean he had some really good plays, but a lot of mistakes. And let's hope he watches back these replays and learns from them, because what's his next opponent? Do we know yet?
No, but I can probably check. I think actually, yeah, because this bracket, we had a Theodosis. Let's have a look. Let's just have a look at the brackets.
It's going to be Dev M. Talisman is going to have to deal with Dev M next round on the 3rd of June. So Talisman has to not make any of those mistakes in this game, because Dev M is hell sure is going to make sure he's going to capitalize on every single mistake that Talisman does, and he made, and Talisman made loads in those games, and even in the games that he won, not all that convincingly, I might add. So, maybe one or two, but the couple, really, when they played as allies and they won as allies, it was very close games. So we shall find out.
Well, there you go, guys. That's the GCS tournament for today. Remember, if you guys want to know any of the games that are coming up in the future, the schedule is all on the schedule side of this spreadsheet. This is where we are today. Sunday 21st, be me and A again casting Loveness versus Lieutenant Bowie, and then Aimstrong versus Jezelin, which I'm really looking forward to be honest. Jezelin looked really strong when we saw him the other day, very like kind of calm, controlled, confident. Aimstrong, very aggressive early game, but didn't particularly perform well in any of the late games we saw him in. So you guys got a lot to look forward to in this tournament. We've still got some of the biggest games yet to come, as all of like the seeding starts to like close in on itself, and we get that kind of like top 10 seeds that we were expecting, which are pretty much accurately rolling at the moment. Fredbrik and Talisman seeds was 8 and 9. Great games, really great games today. But what we'll do, I think we said, did I do the raffle draw? I don't think I did.
Sure.
I don't think I did. No, I didn't. We said we were going to do 2 more, so I will do the raffle draw here. Mike JV58 was the last winner. This time it's going to be Jerk Josh 10. Congratulations, you won yourself a Company of Heroes 2 commander code. And the next one is going to be Gustarai. Gustarai, you are also a winner. So congratulations, guys. I will message you all after this stream whilst I get some food. Thank you so much, everybody, for turning out today. We were just under 900 viewers, which, again, for Company of Heroes, like a game that is, like the 3 years old now, and the kind of life expectancy people expect of it. It's really good to see like 900 people here supporting tournament play. Keep supporting it, because the more you guys support it, like the more likely people are to continue playing at high level. People like Hans, for instance, who is a top seed in this tournament. So thanks, Hans, for helping cast out today. Otherwise it was going to be me solo, which is
always painful, I can imagine.
Casting solo is horrible, man. It's really grim. Like people like Tightrope, Romeo, Dane that solo cast, I have a lot of respect for, but yeah. So anyway, we will host. Hans, are you planning on streaming at all?
Am I?
Do you want 800 viewers, Hans?
Oh, it does sound tempting, but I might have to say no.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm kind of tired, man. After all that drinking last night, and we've how long we've been going on for? The Skype call has been on for 6 hours, so yeah, we've been already doing this entire thing for a long time. Yeah. I'll think. Let me think. Am I listening to my brain or my body?
It's up to you. Otherwise I'll host at random. Otherwise, I'll host Fahu, who's giving out Ko2 lessons for people.
Go host Fahu. He deserves it.
All right, we'll do that. Well, anyway, we're going to go to a nice goodbye screen if you guys want to listen to a little bit more of the Company of Heroes 1 soundtrack, which is bloody fantastic. Thanks for watching again. We'll be hosting Fahu's stream in about 3 or 4 minutes. He's currently giving like online Ko2 coaching lessons by the looks of it. So yeah, see you guys next week for GCS. Hopefully see some of you on my stream during the week if you're interested. Thank you so much for all the follows. Like, I really appreciate the support. Thanks for the subs as well. I think we had 3 subs today, which is really nice. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Ta-ra.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Nice to see me back in CH. Well, I'm